All right, welcome everybody. It is time for Maestros of the Game Group D, the final group of the group stage. And we got to be honest, there are two pretty strong favorites to make it out, but there are also two players that are very good, that are very German, and that could absolutely come in and upset this group overall. And this group is Maru, herO, ShoWTimE, and Lambo. And you can hear the countdown starting. It is going to be kicking things off right away on Tokamak with Maru versus Lambo. At the beginning of the series, just to give you a tiny bit of background to kind of wet your whistle, so to speak, there was a statement from Funka saying, hey, by the way, Maru, if you want to switch races, you have to do it at the beginning of the series before this starts. And Maru said, Terran, I'm picking Terran. And Lambo did a little frowny face. He was maybe hoping Maru would pick Protoss, but this man is obviously one of the best TVZ players of all time. For Vitality, it is Maru in the blue. And his opponent spawning up at the top right for the Shopify Rebellion, it's Lambo in the red. This is a best of 3, both opener matches, which is to say the first set of matches in the group stage are best of 3. So it's going to be Maru versus Lambo, and then ShoWTimE versus herO, and then everything else is a best of 5 from then on out. It'll be a winner's match best of 5. A loser's match best of 5, and then a decider match best of 5. Now, obviously, looking at things, we gotta think Maru and Lambo are the favorites going into this, but I am not going to count out either Lambo or ShoWTimE. My big question is going to be, how much mech do we see out of Maru versus Lambo? But also, will we see any versus the Protoss players? Has Maru been messing around with the battle mech? We've seen Clem do it a little bit. I know that there's been a lot of feelings of struggle versus Protoss. I also know that ShoWTimE, for example, is a player that doesn't feel super great against Terran generally, unless the game kind of quote-unquote follows the script. If things are standard and, it follows a normal pathway, feels very confident. But there's so many weird things Terran can do. That's where the confidence, I think, shrinks a little bit. He talked a little bit about this at EWC. For now, though, we are obviously working with... this one. Working with this matchup. Lambo does go for the Ling speed first, does not delay this for the 28 supply hatchery. Although he will still go for the... Actually, no, he does. He does delay it. Never mind, he went right up to 100 minerals. It's literally the opposite of what I said. Nice snipe right there from Maru. I think Lambo was just... Yeah, usually you would take the drones off gas a little bit earlier. He's actually still not starting Ling speed. Yeah, okay, this might be a Ling speed skip into defensive Roach. This is kind of the last time at which he would start Ling speed if it's not a cut on this. Yeah, so it looks like Lambo kind of checking. Yeah, this was definitely a... Oh, wow, okay, he actually starts Ling speed now. I think this is a fake. I think this is a fake for the Reaper. If the Reaper checks to see if the Evo chamber or the spawning pool is wiggling. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. God, I love the way Lambo plays the game. Such a thinker. We're going to see the Roach Warren thrown down at the front, and it is, technically speaking, instantly scouted. Now, there was a little extractor trick. I believe Lambo has come up with a new a new methodology for how he just the build opener in terms of how he builds his overlords. And there's an extractor trick that's a part of that. You have the third CC being built at the front, and funnily enough, that's actually going to be more difficult to scout. Good larva save right there, morphing those drones. Lambo will not see the third CC, funnily enough. Yeah, this is actually kind of weird. We'll see if he overreacts. He is just building safety roaches right now. Usually you go up to 5. That's what StarCraft's been doing for the most part. You can see he's got the wall right here and the drone in the wall. It's obviously a little bit of lost mining time, but it is far better to lose a little bit of mining time than to lose the game, because Hellions get into your natural and roast up all your drones. Oh, would have been a really nice pick off there. It is... Oh, okay. There it is. There's the second factory. Yep, it's going to be mech. And this is not going to be straight battle mech. This will be Banshee, most likely into speed after the cloak upgrade. Do have this first Banshee getting deflected. Maru taking actually a lot of damage right here. It is worth noting that this is played on Central server. Hellions going to go for the drive-by here. Oh, nice little walls. Oh, man, that's so clever. Oh, that's so clever. I've been saying this for a while, that myself included, Zerg players don't use walls enough. And we have seen the evolution of the evolution chamber, but I haven't seen that before. I've seen the Evo chamber on both sides of the mineral line. I haven't seen it to wall behind the mineral line on the same side. The queens were obviously blocking the other entrance. Very cool stuff. We do have that third command center landed. Mules dropping, and Lambo never overreacted. He knew that even though he didn't see that third CC based on the timing of the production in the main, it could only be that. There would be more barracks down, more factories down if it was some kind of 2-base play. It will be the infestation pit coming in. In this case, the +1 carapace is obviously not going to be fantastic for Lambo. Hellion's going to look for a potential drive-by, but the roaches are in position on the top side. Double Banshee looking for the opener. There is the opening into the natural, I should say. There are 2 queens here, though. A well-placed Overseer. So far, the defense from Lambo has been very good. Maru, though, still looking for openings. Lambo, oh, he doesn't pull the drones in time to get the wall on the one side. Maru will find this run-by, and it's it's actually a pretty decent drone split, but that's still a lot of drones going down there. 13 drones. Now, that was every Hellion. Technically speaking, and not even technically speaking, by a decent margin, that was cost-efficient for Lambo. Given that he was already on a really good drone count, I actually think that's quite a bit better for Lambo. Now, he is going to get melee upgrades behind this. Carapace is not completely useless. It helps against the Hellbats. It helps against the Cyclone's auto attack, but it does not help against the Magfield. It helps very minimally against most of the mech units. Like, for example, the Thor, the Siege Tank, both, unsieged and sieged. Yeah, there's a lot of overkill with mech, and it's just massive damage, so usually you're not hitting any breakpoints where the Carapace helps out a lot. Now, there is a timing where you go for all level 1 upgrades. You try and get something done. We do have Lambo with the roach speed, with the Infestor here. Maru has already cleared up a lot of Lambo's creep, and he's going to find a couple of Overlords for free as well. There's that +1 missile coming through. We will see the Hellions going for a little poke here. Going to be able to find 5 drones. Nice maneuvering to get that opportunity. Ling speed has been produced. We've got Hydra speed as well. Lambo is... he's on a very nice drone count, even with some of these losses. For me, the big problem is the lack of creep. Maru already ready with a 4th CC on location. Engineering Bay is going to be ready to morph a planetary. And he builds a 5th command center out front as well, powering production quite hard as well. He's going to be up to 8 factories very soon. And Lambo building 6 Vipers in the main. Wow. Sorry, not even in the main, just off the hive. This is a lot. I do like the amount of scans that Maru's been spending to just deny creep. I really think that if you can keep the Zerg player from getting their creep spread up, the battle mech becomes so difficult to deal with. Blue Flame just now completing for this last Hellion run by, or, well, this current Hellion run by, I should say. Gets one drone, loses a Hellion. I mean, Lambo is okay, more than okay in terms of resources lost. We still don't see a transition into tanks. It's still just mass battle mech right now. Oh, that will be a kill on this newest base of Lambo. Transfuse on the Queen is nice. It will get killed, though. That Megfield reaching very far forward. It's going to be massive ducks on the Cyclones. We have an anti-armor missile coming through off of a very unexpected singular Raven. Lot of kills coming through. Wow. Those abducts. Okay. I haven't seen this as a response to Battle Mech before. 6 Vipers is such an extreme amount. It's going to be good against the Speed Banshees as well. I mean, the oh, that's a big fungal growth right here, catching 6 of these Cyclones and the Raven. Random Marines that are from the early game, too. Banshees found a gas, but I think he just lost one of them. No, he lost 2 of the Banshees. Oh, this is so good for Lambo right now. Even going to find one of these Banshees on an awkward rally. Abducts in. Oh, my God. Abducts in the second one. The third one dies to Queens and Hydras on the way through. Can Lambo just win the game right now? Ooh, these Vipers. Ooh, one of them does get taken down. Another one uses an abduct to kill a Cyclone. Lambo is not going to keep going, I don't think. He's really beholden to his Viper energy. He is finding value, though. There's about to be a fungal in just 5 energy. He gets another abduct. There's one more fungal ready to, or sorry, one more abduct ready to go. Fungal growth. He just now has the energy. The snipe coming in from the Banshee just before it dies. That was very important, but Lambo is still quite far ahead in army supply. Can he make it happen right here, right now? The SCVs are going to try and pull the tank for this. The Hydras are glass cannons, and this will be a cleanup for Maru. A big cleanup at that. Oh, boy, those SCVs really saved his bacon. Hydralisk lunge late to the party, but that was... I mean, that's still a really good situation for Lambo. He still has 4 Vipers. He only built the 1 Infestor. So he's only lost 1 Infestor, 2 Vipers in terms of spellcasters. He's ahead in resources lost, which is unexpected versus Battle Mech. Now, this will be a kill on this 6th base of Lambo, and that's a big loss. Lambo also trying... Well, he's got a 5th base on the left, but he needs to find more than he has. The Ling run-by on the right side was killed in totality. Oh, well, it hasn't been yet, actually. It's been slipping through. He forces a scan. Still, that's kind of expensive for the relatively limited amount of value he gets. He will kill the engineering bay that was out in the middle of nowhere. Lambo getting a little bit supply block here. He's about to have double melee missile upgrades. He's got much better upgrades in the Battle Mech, but it might not matter. Vipers are coming in finally. They're going to be able to abduct quite a few of these Cyclones. Getting a Raven as well. It drops an auto turret, though, before it goes down. Oh, a little misclick herO right there, I think. Maybe realizing that the Raven was still alive. I do think that this Raven is a neat idea. Oh, this was an orbital on the bottom side. herOing this singular roach is nice. But he's not going to do it. Doesn't have the APM at the moment. Does have a block on this base. Also getting tunneling claws. Maru is going nothing but Cyclones. He still believes in the Cyclone, and I mean, I actually think Lambo, with this heavy Viper play, I think he's onto something. No adrenal glands, by the way, which is that's a pretty big upgrade. It is difficult to get those Lings on top of your opponent's Cyclones, though. Hellions. They are going to get dealt with here. Lambo's come in with an excellent game plan overall. Maru, though, is still battling very hard. Lunge is available on these Hydras. He's not going to use it just yet. Finding Cloud being dropped. I'm a little confused by that. Hydra's going to get caught a little bit going around the corner. Only one of them getting locked onto it. It will die very fast. Maru is nearly maxed out once again. Lambo does have some energy on these Vipers. He's not going for the fight just yet. He's just going to lose the base. It's because he was going for a little bit of counter burrow play here on the other side of the map. Lambo gonna get knocked down to 4 bases once again. Losing a lot of hatcheries here. And this counterattack setup is not dealing the damage he needs it to. Not by any stretch. Maru is on 5 orbitals, not a single planetary. So he's still got a lot of scan economy. And with the SCV count he's got, he's still mining a significant amount. And quite a bit more than Lambo at this point. Lambo is winning battles, but he is losing the war. And at this point, it's starting to look pretty dire for him. He's going to morph in 10 lurkers defensively. Loses a lot of overlords right there. Looks like Lings will catch a Battle Mech Squadron on the right side. Cyclones are able to slip away. Maru has completed his 1-2 for the mech. The lurkers being built defensively at home. I mean, they're going to be great if the Cyclones run into them, but Maru is rotating over to catch this army on the right side. It will lunge forward. Lurker's going to try and cover this play, but they don't have their speed burrow yet. In fact, they barely... Well, they're going to have range in a moment. He does have the Adaptive Talons queued up behind this, but Maru has gotten some really great fights. The last 2 minutes for him has been amazing. Lambo, I think if he loses this game, this is going to be one of those, like, ha, 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 kind of games. Because, oh, wow, that roach got deleted. Oh, Maru, no! Why? Oh, wow, he goes up the ramp into the burrowed lurkers. A lot of those Cyclones. Does still kill, yeah, he kills a Viper on the tail end. The thing is, he is building tanks behind this. And Lambo is very all in. Like, very, very all in. Adaptive Talons will complete in a moment. Maru's about to have 2-3 for his mech, which is, I mean, it's going to be very good. Still no adrenal glands for Lambo. So even though he's got +2 melee on these Lings, well, they actually are going to find a couple of tanks here and an exposed mineral line. And this is where the lack of planetary fortresses really makes things a lot more difficult than they need to be. Meanwhile, push at the front. Cyclones, they do get some lock-ons on some of these lurkers. Abducts will kill a couple Cyclones. 15 SCVs do go down. Lambo still has a chance if this push gets... Well, if this push really gets rolling and Maru is unable to defend. There is a tank in the back, though. Still a lot of Cyclones. There's a lot of Viper energy, though. To abduct that frontline tank, we'll get it. A couple more behind this are not in range of the lurkers. They are slowly getting picked away at. Oh, but that scan killing this one. Lambo's going to go in after dropping a blinding cloud. Nice unsiege from Maru to retreat the tanks out. There are still more tanks and Cyclones behind this. Lambo is actually making this a lot closer than I expected. He's killed a ton of SCVs, but there is just so much mech here. Lurker's going to try and drive by into the natural. There is detection thanks to this Raven. Maru has been very diligent about rebuilding the Ravens, and with Lambo's lurkers basically all getting cleaned up, I mean, I think that's got to be it here. If Lambo could have kept more of his eco alive, we would have seen a different scenario almost certainly. But it is so difficult to keep that eco alive when your opponent has set up like this. Great game from both players. Great game number one. But it will be Maru taking the 1-0 advantage. Oh, man, that was really good from Lambo for so much of that. If he could have kept the consistency in how he was taking those engagements up, I think he wins that game. He was actually, like, really close. There was one moment where I think he had a few Vipers overhead, and he was focused on a counterattack. And if he abducts... Because I think he had 4 fully charged Vipers, and if he abducts, like... Or maybe not fully charged, but he had at least 5 or 6 abducts available. He gets them all going. That is highly likely to be a successful game for him. It is pretty hard to it is pretty hard to beat BattleMech for sure. The thing is, like, if you do everything right, which Lambo was doing for a lot of that game, you can absolutely take down BattleMech. The problem is, it feels like you have to keep going, just almost non-stop with it, with the pretty much immaculate play. And that's obviously very difficult to do, especially a player against a player like Maru. Hey, thank you, Stretch, for the Tier 1 resub at 62 months, over 5 years of support. My man. You can't lose bases no matter the style. Yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done to keep those bases alive, but yeah, that's part of it too. He did lose that game on eco as much as anything. All right, here we go. Spawning up at the top left, it is Vitality's Maru. Up 1-0. And his opponent with a very nice start. Not quite able to get it done. It is the Shopify Rebellion's Lambo. In the red. I do think that, like, very fast hive into the 6 Vipers, I think that was kind of sick. Like, it was working. Now, part of the difficulty there is you just have to be so locked in. Like, you got to be so locked in. For, like I said, pretty much the entire game. It is possible as well that after Lambo got defended with that big counter push, that it might have been a little bit of a letting of the air out of the tires. The thing is, he was ahead, even though Maru held at Maru's third base. Now, it was still a good fight for Maru, mostly because he didn't die, and that was a real risk. But, you know, killing 18 SCVs definitely opens up a lot of opportunities for Lambo to potentially win with a counter-up push. But the problem was that after that, he wasn't able to keep his bases alive. His 5th and 6th bases. Now, my big question is going to be, will Maru play mech again? I mean, even though Lambo looked really good against it, it takes a lot to maintain that defense. And you could see, yeah, there was a little bit of the cracks kind of began to show a little bit. Oh, this is cool out of Lambo. He puts his Overlord in position to spot the Reaper and hides it. Oh, that's super cute. And look at this. Look at this. He hides the drone. Oh, that was a little bit of that. I mean, Maestros of the game. That was an excellent example of someone doing a little bit of Maestro behavior. Oh, Maru almost getting caught there. He pulls out at the last second. But it will mean Lambo gets to drop the creep tumor. And that ain't bad. But yeah, that was kind of a symphony of conducting by Lambo. Very cool. Maru once again putting the command center in the wall. But like not. It feels a little risky. It feels just ever so slightly risky. Realistically, I don't think it is, because against anything other than like a build specifically tailored to deny this CC, at which, like, and by that I mean you would basically have to get a fast ling speed while still getting a similarly timed hatch that finishes at 2 minutes. And to do that, you have to cut a lot of drones. That's the only way you're getting in before the first 2 Hellions are out. Now, Dark would say, I don't care. He would mass up like 28 lings and try and catch his opponent's Hellions on the map. But Dark's not Hinomo. And we are going to see a drive-by into the natural. Already a couple of drones getting picked off. This is a speedless play for a little while. Lambo got the ling speed very late, actually. And it is going to be very costly for him. Nice little... Oh, nice drone pull. Oh, can't get the Spore Crawler save there. 6 drones go down. A fair bit of lost mining time. That's pretty rough for Lambo. And it will be Bio. Oh, man. Yeah, this is what Maru did versus Raynor. After 4 straight games of playing mech and battle mech, he went into that Bio in the decisive Game 5 at EWC on ley lines. And it was the ultra greedy double engineering bay before additional barracks, which, I mean, it's just such an absurdly strong build. If the Zerg doesn't punish, and Maru hasn't... I mean, he built a Viking, and that's it. Oh, that transfused. The Queen stepping back onto creep. Look at that. That was a step back 3 right there from Stefania Curry. She threw that transfuse from behind the 3-point line. Yeah, that doesn't really work, does it? That's weird as heck. I don't care. You guys get it. I'm calling that a successful reference. You can't stop me. I'm Caster, man. This has got to be an 8 racks, right? Surely this will be an 8 racks out of Maru. It is going to be an anti-Liberator setup. But Maru went so fast into the double medevac. Normally, we don't see like a super cohesive timing. With this first 1-1, it's always setting up for the 2-2. But this is going to be really interesting. He will actually have a double medevac stim 1-1 timing. And against roaches, it wouldn't be so great because there won't be that combat shield. But against lings, where a lot of the lings are going to struggle to get on top of this, you're going to shred so many of them before they get there. There's that 3 additional racks coming in. Of course, Maru is going to get combat shields. You wouldn't cut it. Oh my god, look at that timing. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is such a beautiful little timing. 624 stim 1-1 double medevac, and he's already started up 2-2 in combat shields. And his 3 Raxes, 6th, 7th, and 8th barracks are already on the way. Now, there are some weaknesses to this build. No tanks were made, no Banshee. This is a risky build. But the risk has already come and paid off. He does force out a bunch of transfuses, kills the 1 Queen. As the transfuses were gone, they were used up. Lambo on just 67 drones. That is not an amazing count. It's good, don't get me wrong. But it feels like he really wanted to shut down the first push. And this feels like he was anticipating a tank push early. And he was trying to crush it, not a very mobile, I trade and kill creep. This is played on West server, this game number 2, by the way. Bane speed will complete. Widowmine is here. Oh. Ooh, they get some pretty big hits right there. And Maru only losing a handful of Marines. I mean, he does clean up the mines. It's not the worst thing in the world for Lambo, but god, look at his 2-2 versus 1-1 timing. This isn't even a slow 1-1 from Lambo. This is just so fast from Maru. By the way, Maru getting Hellbats with this. I was not anticipating Hellbats. He is just feeling so confident in the power of that 2-2 timing that he's thinking that the Hellbats can just provide that consistency of damage. I like this. I like this. I think that this has a lot of potential. I don't like it for Lambo, to be clear. I like it for Maru. Now, it is going to come down to, with no help, with no Widowmines, with no siege tanks, if Lambo can get enough Banelings to blast through the Hellbats to make up for the difference in the 2-2 versus 1-1, he can still absolutely win a fight. It's just, will you be able to do that? We are going to see a big counterattack coming in here. That is a lot of Marauders left at home. Banelings committing to the counterattack means they're not available at home. They will kill a lot of SCVs. That's going to make this even more committed than it was. 91 drones for Lambo, which means he is down 50 army supply. And this push looks unstoppable right now. Lambo's going to give up this base, but I mean, now he's just going to be fully oversaturated on this one. He's morphing in 10 more Banes. This just does not feel like enough for what Maru has. God, look at how far forward Maru is on the creep right now. He knows. A little bit of accidental pickup right there, but there's just so much bio. And Lambo doesn't even get close to having the number of Banes he needed. Even if that counterattack he sent across the map was at home, I still don't think it would have been anywhere near enough, realistically speaking, but very well played from Maru. Damn. Well done. A quick and decisive first series of the day here out of Maru. Lambo putting up a very good fight in game number 1. In game 2, I think he may have misread things a little bit, and it's hard not to. I mean, it's Maru. Maru is one of the... I would say he's one of the most unpredictable Terran players probably in the world. Gumiho is up there for sure, but I think Maru is better with the execution and sharper. Thank you very much, Izzy Gaming, for the Prime sub at 3 months, Prime resub. And I has Burrito for the Tier 1 resub at 47 months. Thank you very much. Reminder that it is September. So if we get hype trains, I think gifted subs become discounted if we get a hype train. We are going to head to a little break. It's going to be herO versus ShoWTimE after this. ShoWTimE. So both ShoWTimE and Lambo won the coin flip. The thing is, though, like, it's not a massive ping advantage. It is a ping advantage for sure, but it's not a massive one. All right, we will... sorry, guys, I did forget to do a prediction for the last one. Yeah, thinking back to that game... Game number 1. Because that's the one that felt really close to me. This is, this patch in TVZ kind of feels like the Terran Dream, where Mech and Bio are both very strong. And if you play perfectly as the Zerg, you can absolutely deal with both. But the responses to both are so drastically different and so difficult to hammer down. All right, yeah, we'll put like a 5-minute break. Yeah. All right, stick around. This is Maestros of the Game, Group D. Welcome everybody. Welcome back, I should say. Just gonna take a cheeky peek, a peeky cheek at the Bracketorino. Kind of a recap of what's happened so far. Once again, this is awesome. If you want to support the tournament, you can do so, I believe, here. You go to the Wikipedia. I believe this... Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, look at that. That is amazing. God, look at that support. Also, look at how bright that is. Wow. Dark mode. More like... light mode. Got him? What is wrong with me? A lot of German flags here. I'm sure that ShoWTimE and Lambo would be very happy to make it more German flags here into the playoffs. This is, of course, the final day. I didn't get a chance to cast this one, so I do apologize. I may see if I can get the replays and maybe recast it, possibly. It would be really nice to get full completion of the group in terms of coverage, although it looks like... Well, at the very least, I was really intrigued with this match. Really intrigued with this match. Were there any bangers? Chat, tell me. Tell me. What do you say, chat? How many bangers? You just need to be the GOAT to win. Easy. It's true. If herO can win, EWC tools are there. I mean, yes, that's the thing. I think that's been, for me, that's been my struggle and complaint with Zerg, is that the skill progression does not feel linear. Which means that if you don't... How do I say this? If you don't have all of the tools, every single tool, very, very, very good. Like, basically, you don't have everything clicking. It's very difficult to win. At the top level. But, I mean, you could make that argument for all the races. I will say, though, for example, Terran can do very well with really great bio control, really great macro off of 3 bases. If you can execute a really good 8 racks, you can do very well in TBZ. TBT, if you have really great tank positioning, or you can play a strong defensive positional turtle mech, you can do very, very well. You don't necessarily have to learn some of the things that you would need to in other matchups. Now, I will say versus Protoss, yeah, like if you don't have good ghost control, especially in current patch, I don't even want to get into TVP actually at the moment based on that, because that's kind of not really the point of what I'm trying to say. But basically, if you have all the tools, the race is incredibly strong. Zerg. Well, maybe right. It's maybe incredibly strong is the wrong way to put it, but it's strong. But if you don't have the tools, it feels very difficult to make anything happen with. All right, here we go. Spawning up at the top left for Sentinels, it is ShoWTimE. In the blue. And his opponent currently teamless, it is herO. In the red. No longer a part of Twisted Minds, unfortunately. But, I mean, he's got to be one of the most sought-after free agents. The thing is, though, a lot of teams that... Well, a lot of teams like, for example, Sentinels, or basically anyone that had a player on it at EWC. A lot of them will be waiting to see if SC2 is brought back at EWC before they commit to a contract for some of these players. If it is, though, I think we're going to see a very quick pickup. That's not really fair, X-Phenom, because I mean, like, there should be an equal, like, if players put in equal levels of skill, there should be, you know, the player that puts in more, or it should be equal. Yeah, I don't think you should necessarily have to do absolutely everything perfectly 100% of the time for the race to be viable. And to be fair, there are players, I would say Shin is a great example that you don't necessarily have to do everything absolutely perfectly. Let's talk about this game, though. No probe scout from herO. And we see ShoWTimE going for something he doesn't go for super often, which is a proxy. Going to be a proxy Stargate. ShoWTimE not going to have this revealed because herO doesn't check. ShoWTimE will scout in after the proxy. And I wonder if this will raise any alarm bells for herO. The Robo being built behind the wall. Stalker should be able to get the kill here, no problem. Yep. And that does prevent the Stalker Adept from being revealed. This could very easily look like Stalker Sentry. Meanwhile, we've got a Chrono Boost coming in. This is going to be an aggressive 3-gate Robo out of herO, a very aggressive 3-gate Robo. If he doesn't build a shield battery very soon, and these second and third Stalkers move out, this is super bad news for herO. Now, it is, of course, worth noting that, I mean, ShoWTimE is not going to have a lot of strong defense. But if you kill 10 workers before your opponent's attack actually starts, I mean, you cut that attack's legs off before it gets going. Okay, there are Stalkers still relatively close by. This could have been a lot worse. It's only going to be... Oh, man, it's only going to be, like, one probe. Oh, man, ShoWTimE, no! Oh, God, he was microing like he had 0 ping. And you just can't do that when you're on Central. That's super painful for ShoWTimE. He does get to scout what is going on. Oh, he still actually hasn't seen the Robo, so that's kind of awkward. Adept did shade forward and died. ShoWTimE did not build a second Oracle. He's going to build a Phoenix and rally at home. This Oracle is still valuable to have, and it will force a couple Stalkers to stay home. herO strangely not building a shield battery, but that is because he's anticipating a lack of other stuff on the other side of the map. Or, sorry, not a lack of. He's anticipating the second thing. I was just going to point this out. This pylon does not power this second gateway. That is a big problem. herO already depowering one of the gates. Robo facility for ShoWTimE. Oh, no, he's supply blocked with the loss of that pylon, so he can't build another Robo. Or not another Robo. He can't build the Prism or the Immortal. herO already getting some very nice value. ShoWTimE has been probing. He probed up to 30, which is... I mean, that's just insane as far as I'm concerned. That is so much on one base. Oh, herO got to be careful with this Prism. Okay, I like that he didn't immediately pick up the unit. Instead, unfazed the Prism. ShoWTimE, though, losing both gateways at the front. Very good control from herO. herO with an Observer here will spot this Oracle. And behind this, herO's expanded a while ago. I mean, this looks just terrible for ShoWTimE right now. Force Field is available once again. It wasn't there as ShoWTimE started pushing towards the low ground. He is going to expand with a Prism to the low ground. Maybe this was the game plan all along. And Gressvon is a pretty good map to do it on. There's a lot of places that a hidden base could go. Realistically, I would say like 4 or even 5 viable locations. Force Field's going to get dropped by herO. ShoWTimE going to go through to the low ground. Will get 1 kill on a Stalker. And this Sentry should get chased down. herO already starting up Blink behind this, though. And does ShoWTimE realistically have much counterattack potential with this? I would argue not really. Oh, no. ShoWTimE lost the Oracle on the other side of the map. I should have been watching for that, but the damage he took earlier is highly likely to have had an impact on that. Observer does come in. At this point, I mean, this is so suspicious. Oh, he even sees a probe coming from a weird angle. Observer of ShoWTimE will get in here. Phoenix of ShoWTimE on the other side of the map does get a little bit of scouting information. There's a shield battery being built. herO has to have seen those probes transfer. There's no way he didn't just recognize what this is. herO is so good at embracing the madness of PvP and the weirdness of PvP and just being good at it. There is a world where herO doesn't realize that this base was taken, and ShoWTimE actually gets a great advantage. The problem is, I mean, he kind of has to defend this right side base, and he also needs to have vision of where his opponent's army is going. This is very cute, putting this Phoenix on the high ground. It maybe needs to be in a little bit of a better position. Did ShoWTimE... should he have recalled? Maybe. It is going to be resonating glaives coming through. Hallucination does spot this army moving to the left side. These rocks, if these rocks go down, it's going to be very difficult to deal with rotations. Oh, that Phoenix does give information. Good movement from ShoWTimE, quickly getting out of there. Of course, herO with the high ground vision and the blink. There was always a threat to kill that, so it's good that for ShoWTimE that he keeps that alive. 4 Adepts on the top side are going to be quite a nuisance to deal with. Oh, one of the Stalkers does get taken down by some force fields on the high ground. herO going to be able to kill a good number of probes here. Going to try and force the ramp. Blings forward, snipes the Prism of his opponent. Nice lift on one of herO's Immortals. There's a lot of Immortals for ShoWTimE, but the Immortals of herO are a big problem, and the lack of a Prism to lift is an equally large problem for ShoWTimE. Blink forward coming through once again. Going to snipe down one of the remaining Immortals. Another one as well. And ShoWTimE losing 4 Immortals in quick succession. And I don't think he killed any of his opponents. No, he did not. He'll be forced to tap out. Oh, man. herO. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Just straight up outplaying ShoWTimE right there. I mean, herO is so good at managing those fights and being decisive and punishing little missteps in positioning. For that one was always going to be difficult. I really like that it was 4 Adepts instead of just the 2. If it had been 2 Adepts, ShoWTimE can kind of underreact to that play a little bit, and it's not the worst thing in the world. With it being 4 Adepts... I mean, it's... Yeah, that's pretty brutal to deal with. Pretty brutal. And we are already just about done this first series, potentially. Or second series. Now, I don't want to count ShoWTimE out. PvP is a matchup that can go a lot of different ways. But I'm ready to sink my teeth into those juicy best of 5s. Burger Man. But in this case, the burgers are best of 5s. All right, here we go. Spawning up at the top right. It is herO. The man who smiles. And his opponent. Spawning down on the bottom left for the Sentinels, it is ShoWTimE. In the blue. Yeah, I think, honestly, it's like it just feels so difficult to play against herO in this matchup. He is just such a... He's such a strong opponent. Like, he really doesn't give you... he doesn't give you any feeling of security. And I feel like that plays very well against ShoWTimE specifically, who really likes to play by the book and follow a preconceived pathway. He likes so it's like the Joker meme, right? It's like, you know, when everything's all part of the plan, everything's all good. But as soon as it's things go off script, as soon as you proxy one little robo, everybody loses their minds. We're part of the plan. I remember when everyone was doing the Joker voice, the Heath Ledger Joker voice. Beyonce Fast just ughed. Ugh. Also, and then there was a period of time where everyone was had a coffee mug and was just talking to the coffee mug and doing the Bane voice. We men are simple creatures. We see something and we're like, yeah. She said, I'm glad the Family Guy phase is over. To which my immediate response in my brain was to... the Peter Griffin laugh. We do see herO. He like delayed his pylon a lot. I think that was just a mistake, his second pylon, but then he will build a third one on the other side of the map. I don't really know a reasoning for why he would have delayed his second pylon a fair bit. A little bit confused by that. I think it was just a small misstep, but it didn't seem to have caused any issues. It is worth noting, of course, it is early in the AM for the Korean players. So certainly whoever wins... Well, if herO goes on to win this one, he will most definitely want to win the follow-up series, because if not, you're waiting for the losers match. And then you have to play the deciders match at maybe as late as like 6 a.m. Korean time. It'd be pretty rough. We are going to be seeing an expansion come down from both players. This Proxy Oracle, though, ShoWTimE's got no idea just yet. And this pylon is not going to be finished in time. herO can just circumvent it. Oh, man. ShoWTimE has no units in position, in fact. He's focused on his adepts on the other side of the map. Oh, this is really, really bad for ShoWTimE. In fact, he's building a sentry as well off one of his gateways, so it's not going to immediately transform. This is going to be a lot of damage. ShoWTimE not pulling the probes right away either. Oh, no. Already losing 6 workers. 7. And herO target that last one down. He tries to, but he gets a fresh one instead. 10 workers going down to the Proxy Oracle. Oh, boy. That is a tale of two proxies. You have the extreme success out of herO and the extreme minimal success out of ShoWTimE in game number 1. And now another 5 probes go down to the second Oracle. I mean... This is brutal for ShoWTimE. There's no other way to put it. herO recalls out with the first Oracle because it was trapped behind. He'll be able to rally these together. He can just drop stasis wards if he wants to. There it is. Energy recharge. Going to drop a double stasis most likely. Could even move across the map. ShoWTimE will have Blink done. He is rebuilding probes. And herO wasn't as focused on probe production, and in fact has it misses a little bit of probe production there for a moment. Hallucination checking on what ShoWTimE's doing, and I mean, herO is not as far ahead as he could be, but he's still ahead. So at least ShoWTimE committed hard to the probe rebuild, and that's made this somewhat playable for him. If he can blink in on top of one of these oracles and get the kill... Oh, he didn't even need to blink for the first one, but he will put damage on the second one. Only losing 2 probes. Okay, that's pretty darn good for ShoWTimE. herO is definitely still ahead in this game. But that is a big start. I would say that's the first real win in this series for ShoWTimE. Obviously, killing the sentry was nice, but that was after herO got a massive economic lead off the back of the contain. And killing one sentry off of your opponent, making a little bit of a misstep, I don't think it feels as good as killing an Oracle. herO does have the faster... Well, no, they're actually basically the same timing. Kudos to ShoWTimE for getting on top of that. Very clean macro from ShoWTimE after the early losses. And herO actually going to get a little bit supply blocked here. It won't block probe production for long, if any time. Only a couple seconds. But herO is now on 3 gates to his opponent's 2. He has his own blink done. And if herO is so inclined, he can get a fair bit more aggressive. Yeah, once again, when ShoWTimE, like, when he executes his game plan, the man plays very, very well. Stalkers of ShoWTimE were looking for an opening. Looks like they got spotted by a, I'm going to guess, hallucination. Oh, wow. herO going to proxy another gate, and ShoWTimE looking like he had future sight right there, but he was just trying to blink away, and he happened to stumble into the building gateway. Obviously works out very well for him because it gets herO to cancel that and supply blocks herO for just a little bit of time. herO does have the faster +1. ShoWTimE moving out of position, shooting his own shield battery for a moment. Will lose the pylon here, powering that. Force field comes through, but herO just going to blink forward aggressively. It is a double Guardian Shield here for herO, or sorry, for ShoWTimE, but herO does have just a few more Blinky boys. Probes will pull into this. Honestly, this feels like it might have been an overextension from herO. He doesn't have forward reinforcements. ShoWTimE was going to say, I feel like he can blink forward right now, and he does. Snipes down 2 of his opponent's Stalkers after herO sticks around a little long. Yeah, it feels like herO forced the issue when he really didn't need to. And herO still maintains a small worker lead and a small army supply advantage and a not-so-small upgrade timing advantage. That's the big difference right here. But ShoWTimE is absolutely hanging around in this game. If herO fires up the +2 weapons as soon as that... yeah, there we go. As soon as he gets the 150 gas. He is playing 4 gas right now. ShoWTimE on 3, but adding his 4th. And as you can see, he tried to do this in game number 1. Going to go for it again. We've been seeing a lot of Glaive Adept play. More and more in the last little bit. And in theory, it's good against charge lots, but it can feel pretty lackluster sometimes. Unless you have like a lead or a tempo advantage. It feels like it either works really hard or it fails really hard. ShoWTimE is getting up towards what is going to be 10 gates. Oh, this stasis trap. Oh, probe does trigger it. Nice job. There is an immortal here for ShoWTimE. herO. We get force fielded a little bit. I think he... Oh, yeah, he's able to snipe down a couple... Or a sentry and a stalker. The blink micro, it looks like, from herO. Yeah. Killing 2 extra sentries on his opponent. And that's kind of the liability of defending against blink stalker, especially when you have those sentries in the army. They obviously offer a lot of power. Hold that thought. We do have a fight breaking out. A bit of a better concave here for ShoWTimE. herO will show up with a couple more zealots. He does snipe down one of his opponent's immortals. The glaives have revealed themselves. And that means ShoWTimE kind of has to go like right here, right now. herO turns around to fight. I think he thought he was retreating still. ShoWTimE. Oh, not able to bait out the stasis trap in time. Oh, that one stalker did such a good job in theory. But the other stalker's chasing forward just a little too early. And that means, I mean, ShoWTimE should not have been chasing there after that. He needs to hold this position, though. He needs these stalkers. He cannot let herO gain this position. And ShoWTimE will be successfully able to rescue these. Oh, my God. Oh, please don't hit another stasis trap or run into it. Speaking of which, this stasis trap on the left side stranded a couple of the reinforcements of ShoWTimE. herO is actually floating a little bit of cash right now, despite the fact that he's on 11 gates. and can warp in a lot of charge loss at once. Ooh, that Prism will escape from the marauding Blink Stalkers. Immortal will find a Stalker, but it goes down on the rally. herO supply blocked brutally at 148. That's part of why he wasn't spending his money, perhaps. He's trying to take a 5th Nexus. ShoWTimE does get himself in a good position. Takes down the Oracle. That means no more Stasis Trappies. Shield Battery goes down as well. Prism in the back is the linchpin of this push. This is kind of looking good for ShoWTimE. herO going to pull the probes for the natural and the third. He knows that this is Desperation City. Charge loss warping in for him. herO is going to move in on top of this Prism. Will eventually take it down, but it comes at a massive, dreadful cost. And ShoWTimE getting positioned in the natural. The Glaive Adepts murdering probes. And there's still enough Blink Stalkers for ShoWTimE to easily retreat out of here with the bulk of his army and hold a Stalker lead. Wow. Wow. Extremely good for ShoWTimE. But this game, despite its appearances... Wow, no, it should be over. It should be over. That was way too many workers dying. The main thing is that herO has +2 weapons. Oh, that blink forward is very bold. ShoWTimE is going to be able to turn around and chase. No charge on the way or +2 weapons yet for ShoWTimE. But he is more than fine if herO just doesn't get additional damage. Like, herO's on 5 Nexus, and I don't know that ShoWTimE realizes about this 5th Nexus on the bottom right. In fact, he doesn't necessarily even know about this 4th Nexus. You have to assume there's at least 4 bases. Oh, Observer will get spotted and also spot his opponent's Observer. ShoWTimE, I think, was actually checking this bottom right base. The thing is, herO can build 5 probes at a time, so he's actually caught back up in the worker count just about. But ShoWTimE's been building basically nothing but units. The only risk I see for ShoWTimE is if he doesn't realize how far ahead he is. herO didn't realize he was still fighting, I think, there. Maybe focusing on the macro back at home. But that means he loses even more Stalkers. And now ShoWTimE, he should just walk across the map and win the game. He doesn't want it to go to a base trade right now, but, I mean, he will almost certainly win that base trade. herO, though, is wisely, like, searching super hardcore for the base trade. Now, a fair number of Stalkers and Adepts do recall home. herO doesn't have enough units to recall back. Well, hang on. Okay, he warps in more. Adepts are going to come in on this army on the left side. ShoWTimE is managing this quite well so far. And he's killed one of herO's bases, and he will find the hidden, pseudo-hidden base. Stalkers of herO do blink forward. I don't think ShoWTimE was expecting this setup. The worst case scenario for ShoWTimE would be if he loses, like, half of his army. Like, herO baits ShoWTimE into a bad fight, basically. Oh, probes will recall out. That's very nice for herO. And he actually wasn't mining for the most part at this base, so he's actually going to be mining a fair bit. herO's given himself a win condition. Oh, but ShoWTimE is closing in from all sides here. Here's going to try and blink out force fields. Would be good to keep these Adepts at bay, but he needs to do more than keep the Adepts at bay. He needs to win a fight against a smaller portion of ShoWTimE's army. And ShoWTimE has got his army all together now. I really like how herO tried to orchestrate this, but ShoWTimE did not fall victim to the trickery and weirdness of herO. You can see, though, why he didn't want to allow herO to base trade. Nice catch, though, on the last units of herO, and that should be enough to close this game out. herO still has a significant number of Blink Stalkers on the right side. ShoWTimE, just go for it. Just go for the throat. You've got it. I think the biggest mistake for ShoWTimE would be defending half-heartedly and not fully committing to the base trade. Which is... Okay, now, there we go. Now he's sending the Stalkers across the map. He doesn't want to let these probes of herO get away. We'll blink after them now. There's still a fair number left. ShoWTimE is running his own probes away. Okay, good stuff. I mean, there's been base trades that ShoWTimE has gone for that have gone very poorly. So I don't blame him for wanting to avoid that. Wildly, herO is actually up in workers right now, but I mean, that doesn't necessarily matter. It's all about the army supply. The +2 weapons is very nice, and the fact that so many of the units for ShoWTimE are glaive adepts is not super great. Oh, herO's probes are actually attacking ShoWTimE's mining base. herO is going to come back home. Stalkers and Zealots will try and engage. Where's the rest of ShoWTimE's army here? Oh, nice takedown on the Prism. Oh my god, can herO actually do this? So much of the army supply is in glaive adepts. The Stalker count for herO is bigger. Oh my god, has herO done it? Are you serious right now? Stalkers closing in from the back. Glaive adepts are not going to be great here. ShoWTimE, not like this. His Stalkers show up reinforcing from very far away. The worker counts, well, okay, ShoWTimE still has a few Stalkers. He just needs to not lose every single one of his Stalkers. herO has to win with the units he has, +1 extra Stalker. And ShoWTimE is mining. ShoWTimE literally just needs to not lose to 6, maybe 7 Stalkers. Probes are going to pull. Nice target fire there from herO. Snipes down some of his opponent's Stalkers. If he snipes all of the Stalkers... Oh, no, they're still gas mining. They're still gas mining. ShoWTimE's got this. He's got this. Oh, my God. Surely he's got this, right? Oh, I like that blink forward. But it shouldn't be enough. herO, if he had realized he could warp in one more Stalker, he might have legit won this game. He actually had the cash for one additional Stalker, and it was close enough. Like, no, one Stalker probably doesn't do it. 2 or 3 more almost certainly would have. Damn, that was actually so close. I can't believe how close that came. Like, it was not as close as... It wasn't... No, it was pretty crazy close, considering it was like a 50 supply advantage. My God. That's a great way of putting it. That was far closer than that had any business being. Yes. And that is a testament to herO's skills and, honestly, to the decision-making of ShoWTimE to try and avoid the base trade at all costs. Like, ain't no way I want to fight a guy in a base trade if he can do that to me. God, I love watching herO play, though. He is such a madman. Such an entertaining player. I'm looking at the time, by the way, and I do have to go in about 3 hours. So... could be a little tricky. We'll see. All right, here we go. Spawning up the top left. It is herO in the red. That was a totally lost game, and he almost turned it around. And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right. For the Sentinels, it is ShoWTimE in the blue. Remember that game started with a proxy oracle that killed 10 probes, and then the second one killed 5 more. So in a weird way, like, yeah, no, ShoWTimE was like kind of... Like, if herO probes up really aggressively after getting those probe kills, and he recognizes that ShoWTimE is not threatening the counterattack with Blink at all, then herO should stay up maybe 7 or 8 probes for a lot of that game and take his third Nexus quicker, or can potentially get a lot more aggressive against ShoWTimE. Yeah, kudos to ShoWTimE to claw his way back after that. Very surprising. But also, herO then making anything happen at all after kind of getting caught out in his natural, losing 34 probes. Like, that's the kind of game where if you look at the replay afterwards, you're like, what am I looking at? Potentially as both players. As herO, you might be like, okay, well, I killed 15 workers early on. How am I only 3 workers ahead going into the mid game with a similarly timed third Nexus? And I mean, the answer to that one is pretty simple. He wasn't greedy at all. But if you're ShoWTimE, you're like, how the hell did he do this? Honestly, even that one, the answer is kind of relatively simple, and that's kind of ShoWTimE, I don't think, realized there was a 5th base. Because 5 Nexus build probes very fast. But even after the probe count had been rebuilt, like, yeah, just a really, really great job from herO to make anything out of that game whatsoever. Robo in base from ShoWTimE. This is ping advantage for ShoWTimE, albeit a very small ping advantage. Looks like ShoWTimE, that is, might be anticipating proxy Robo, but he is going to see now that it's not, and he is going to go for the expansion. Okay. He's going to build the War Prism, but will not drop a 3rd gate. Going to be 4 Adept into Stargate with the expansion coming in from herO. Still going to pump out a couple of additional Stalkers, but wanting to build these units first. Looks like herO is anticipating a potential proxy from ShoWTimE, building a shield battery in the main mineral line. And there was a proxy Stargate in game 1, so even though that proxy Stargate got very little value in the actual game, it's getting some value here. Do we see a force field? Nope. I think I would have liked to have seen one there, actually. He would have killed... I think he would have killed 2 Adepts. Oh, it's going to be a defensive Phoenix here after this double Adept gets in. Oh, the Oracle of herO just worked all the way around. Oh my god, it's finding so much value. 9 probes go down. Meanwhile, the double Adept of ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, does he recall this? He's got the energy. He probably should. There it is. Yeah, has the energy. We'll save it. Oh, and he saves it on full HP as well. That's good for ShoWTimE. This time, they both deal a pretty decent amount of damage. herO obviously comes out ahead in that damage dealt, killing a lot more workers, but you can see ShoWTimE is a probe building enthusiast. I do feel like more so than anything else, that's the difference between Korean and non-Korean Protoss players, is that it feels like Korean Protoss players will cut probes a lot more to make little timings happen. And it feels like non-Korean Protosses like Estrella, like ShoWTimE, MaxPax to a lesser extent, but even MaxPax a little bit, will like build probes pretty heavily. MaxPax though does a lot more like sharp timings, but his timings are very much, he like kind of sticks to them. ShoWTimE, by the way, very awkward for him. He let this probe finish. Oh, we're going to see the Adept shade forward. The Guardian Shield actually doesn't do anything to keep probes alive. It helps in the actual fight. He actually only loses 4 probes there. That's not bad at all for ShoWTimE in terms of killing, what was that, 5 Adepts? Oh, he lifted up into the Prism. Whoa. Oh, no, ShoWTimE killed... Oh, he killed one of his own probes. Well, that's awkward. Is that right? It said 4 probes killed on the other side. Here, there are 2 Phoenixes. I did not even notice that herO built an additional Phoenix here. He is definitely trying to bait his opponent into this stasis trap. But what he is actually going to do is... Oh my god. Oh, can ShoWTimE get the angle on this? Not quite. This is a very strong army from ShoWTimE. If he built... Oh, there's the stasis trap. If he, he built nothing but units. I mean, this is 5 sentries with a ton of energy. Important to note, by the way, when a unit is stasis trapped, it does not generate additional energy. That's actually kind of big for herO because ShoWTimE is going to try and put on some big pressure with this. Stasis trap in the natural will grab 3 probes. That is all she wrote on that one, but the army supply right now is quite high for ShoWTimE. And the power with the Prism, with the Immortal, going to be big as well. There's no stasis traps at home. Blink is done for herO, but he's going to need to snipe that Prism. Does he see it? He does, but not early enough to get out on it. Oh, those force fields. The Blink was used. herO going to lose all these Stalkers potentially. They do get their Blink off cooldown just in time. Save 2 of them, but this looks very scary right now. ShoWTimE, he should not hesitate. He needs to go. This is his timing. He has got a big opportunity in this game. Forces his opponent back. herO using his force fields here. Ooh, nice force fields from ShoWTimE. He's slowly working his way forward, but he's almost out of force field energy. This 1 sentry in the front has 2 force fields, and that's basically it. Good snipes down from herO. Oh, that Prism going a little bit far. Oracle comes through on an awkward angle. Prism does get taken down, but the lift on the Immortal, very nice right here from herO. Guardian Shield from herO coming through at the tail end. 1 Phoenix was sniped, 2nd one as well. ShoWTimE getting a lot of value, but Blink is done for herO. He can go chasing. He needs to. He lost, well, actually, he's even on workers. He barely lost any probes. ShoWTimE's kind of in an awkward position where he needs to get back home. You gotta just back away right now, right? herO did cancel this Nexus and rebuilt it on the top right. ShoWTimE doesn't know about that yet. Doesn't know even that it was canceled.
Mineral field depleted.
herO canceled that, I'm sure, to get just more units out. Oh my god, no way. No way he actually knows this is here. Blink just now starting up for ShoWTimE. Both players are playing Forgeless in Seattle. Look at the gateway count, though. ShoWTimE does not have many gateways. He is building a DT shrine. There is a robo facility on the way for herO. Of course, lost his Oracle, which means he lost his detection. This is a very weird little scenario here. Recall will get used. That means no recalling probes to the newest base. So getting them over safely is going to be awkward. ShoWTimE losing a lot of workers, though. Oh, and now he's going to be forced to recall to deal with these Adepts. Nice job from herO finding a couple of probes in the middle, even as he kind of got walled in. Observer does get chronoed out, so herO has figured out about this DT shrine, or at least anticipated it. Oh, was that an Immortal? Oh, no. ShoWTimE losing an Immortal. He didn't recall it. He didn't recall it as a part of everything. That's a huge power unit to lose. herO transferring probes over to this base. DT finds the probes on the transfer. DT and the natural will get in as well. Oh, this is very awkward for herO, actually. Oh my god, he's going to lose so many probes in the natural, fighting the DT with those probes. Oh man, these DTs striking pay dirt because of the hidden base from herO. I wonder if the better move for herO would have been to build an additional observer from this robo and keep the other observer sent to the 3rd. Oh, this will be a blink forward in on top of the Prism. Gets it with the DT inside. That's very good for herO, but ShoWTimE is mining more right now with all these probes not mining and just wandering around for as long as they have been. And this DT, it will finally get revealed here, but it got a lot of value, an immense amount of value. Both players now building a Prism at the same time. 18 Adepts versus mostly Blink Stalkers here. This looks very good for ShoWTimE to move on into the winner's match. Not over yet. He is supply blocked as well. No, that's herO that's supply blocked. My bad. For some reason, I keep thinking ShoWTimE is red. I don't know why. Maybe because the Sentinels are red. ShoWTimE, though, has a massive advantage at this point. An absolutely massive advantage. herO, though, as we saw in game number 2, even if he's got an, or even if your opponent has an advantage, you cannot count him out. If he has an army that is mobile and can base trade, that can be a big problem for you. Oh, Observer of herO spots the army of ShoWTimE. Recall going to get forced out by this Prism. Oh, that should be a blink forward to kill the Prism. He does get it. Good stuff. That's -4 Adepts as well. Adepts do shade forward into this base. Force fields can be used. And they will be used quite effectively here. DT on the top right. There is an Observer there. Oh, there's also a Prism on the right side. It's barely in vision. Going to take a lot of shots to kill that. The Adepts will be forced away and might actually end up just getting hunted down here. Good blink from ShoWTimE, splitting the Stalkers into 2 different groups. And now these Adepts are kind of pinned. herO, oh, very nice job from ShoWTimE right there. Blinking at the best possible moment right after his opponent had committed the shade. It's 2 additional kills as the recall goes through. It was a nice quick recall, but it is very awkward for herO. ShoWTimE, though, just has to be careful that he doesn't take a fight where his opponent's army is all together and his is separated. Almost an identical situation to the previous game. However, it is herO in a much better position going into this, and he is going to go for the base trade. Now, the Glaive Adepts do have a lot of mobility. herO is building a Forge. I think you've got to snipe the DT Shrine as quickly as possible. As herO, probably want to depower all the gateways, too. That's... oh my god, pardon me. That's got to be the priority for both players, actually. Recall is not available for, I think, either player just yet. ShoWTimE did take a Nexus on the bottom left. Probes are dying for ShoWTimE very quickly at this 3rd Nexus. He's got 1 probe over here. He's building cannons and a shield battery. All the gateways save 1 have been depowered. Are there any DTs on the map? The answer is no. Did herO... wait, did herO not get any probes out? I just assumed he would. Oh, wow, it's actually ShoWTimE who still got more probes. And herO doesn't have a Nexus that he can build. I mean, he's got the money, he just doesn't have the probe. This is very weird. herO is now up a little bit of army supply, but the micro potential of ShoWTimE is so much higher. ShoWTimE, or herO, doesn't know about this base in the bottom left. And it could come down to a hidden Nexus. Oh, Observer of ShoWTimE. Oh, it's spotting herO's Observer for just a second. There we go. He sees it now. herO is being revealed, and ShoWTimE still got that Nexus. herO doesn't know where it is. ShoWTimE just has to avoid taking a terrible fight. herO going to shade forward here. Nice blink back from ShoWTimE. So many of these Adepts can't even get into the fight if the blink is used to just counter the shade. Oh, herO does kill his opponent's Observer here. There is still that DT Shrine. herO in an interesting... oh my god, he doesn't have... Wait. herO does have a probe. Oh, I'm so blind. I thought he had no probes. He's still got a probe. He's going to repower. Oh, ugh. And ShoWTimE's only got a few probes. herO doesn't know. Oh, the cannons are about to reveal this Observer, and it gets killed. That's massive. Absolutely massive. ShoWTimE. Oh my god, herO is going to rebuild the Nexus. Warps in a couple more Stalkers and a Sentry. That's all of his money spent. And he doesn't have money for an Observer. He's got a Robo, and it is powered. But if ShoWTimE, he does, he warps in a DT. I was just going to say, if he recognizes a DT warp in, a DT basically wins the game. herO doesn't, he needs what? How many, like 6 gas trips? Because he needs 28 gas, 7 gas trips for this. Oh, blink forward gonna come in, will grab 1 Immortal. herO caught on the ramp with the Immortals. Rest of the units not there to support. ShoWTimE, brilliant jump. And now he just has to fight a weaker army with micro advantage, with a better concave, with more mobility, with an economy that is Granted, piss poor, but still effectively alive. herO trying to blink forward, chasing after his opponent's army. ShoWTimE is kiting back, which might give the impression that he's losing this fight, but he is not. He has won it, and ShoWTimE will take the game and the series. Damn, Daniel, ShoWTimE. After game 1 and the start of game 2, I did not expect that to be a ShoWTimE victory after all. Very well done from him. Excellent job maintaining composure. Very, very well done. Damn. Yeah, I was really not expecting that after the Proxy Oracle. And now it is going to be ShoWTimE versus Maru. I was not expecting that for the winners match here. And Lambo, I mean, I'm sure he was preparing pretty heavily for Protoss in this group. But oh man, I'm expecting that he was definitely thinking he would be going up against ShoWTimE in this loser's bracket match. But ShoWTimE's got some great PvP, and we just saw it there. You imagine herO's kicking himself over those 2 games? I would think so. I would think that's one of those situations where he's not happy with how that went, for sure. But great job from ShoWTimE. Really, really great job. All right, we're going to be back for the winners match after this. Best of 5. Really take like maybe 5, 6, 7 minutes on the timer, and we'll be back. And we're back. Back after a brief little break. You got a chance to stretch your legs. Maybe grab a snack. Grab some water. Man, I really was not expecting the result that we saw for game number 1. Kind of incredible stuff. Or sorry, series number 2, I should say. ShoWTimE beating herO. And as a result, we've got Maru ShoWTimE. And we avoid, for now at least, the German Civil War. So far, it is only going to be South Korea versus Germany for the first 4 matches of the day. And there is a very real possibility that that'll be all we get. If Maru wins and herO wins, then it would be a rematch of ShoWTimE herO in the final match. Or if ShoWTimE wins and Lambo wins, it would be a rematch of Maru Lambo. Kind of wild that there's a potential of that. And I would even say that it's probably the expected value. Oh. ShoWTimE's webcam is... Oh, there we go. Huh? Oh. Seems like it's being a little bit cranky, but we'll see. All right, spawning up the top left, it is ShoWTimE. In the blue for the Sentinels, and his opponent spawning down to the bottom right for Vitality, it is Maru. In the red. And he is going for a fake proxy here on Gressvon. And we are going to see real quick if we can't figure out. Webcam situation. It was working for a little bit there. 1 second, folks. ShoWTimE does scout around his opponent's base. Hasn't seen anything yet. Wonder if there's too many people using the camera file right now. Well, is it lag? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I am not 100% sure. Here comes the first Reaper. Did kill his scouting probe. I wonder if there's a limited number of webcam views that can be accessed. That is possible. Oh, no, it's working now. Okay. Oh, well, all right, cool. I changed nothing, and now it is working. We tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas, man. Okay. This is neat. Little reactor widow mine opening. I'm assuming it's... Oh, no, he is going to go for 4. Okay. He's going to be waiting for this next set for a little bit here. Maru, of course, did open up double gas. He will scout this gateway on the high ground, but he hasn't seen the cleverly tucked in little Twilight Council. Oh, it's going to be Cloaked Banshee. But is this real Cloaked Banshee? It is real Banshee, but it's not real Cloak. This hallucination will expire in a moment here. Stalkers. Oh. Oh, they get the track on this. That's very big. ShoWTimE not going to get bamboozled.
I am here in the
Hey, where did the hallucination go? Oh, cute little move from Maru. He does burrow up a sneaky mine. Let's see if ShoWTimE's paying attention. He is not. That is a dead stalker for this Widow Mine. ShoWTimE does definitely need to chase this down. Oh. Letting that go is a big mistake, but of course he's focused on the main drop where the 3 mines are going to drop into the main. One of them will get taken down before it can burrow. Second one. Oh, nice retargeting here from Maru. ShoWTimE, though, does ultimately pull the probes away as he can. And it is an 11-worker lead for ShoWTimE. Even with that, is still, I would say this is still a very good opener for ShoWTimE. Very good early game so far. Definitely putting him in a good position. All right, here comes the move out from Maru. ShoWTimE. I mean, he's got to contest this. He's got the units for it. He just has to kill some of the units of Maru. He can't let this get across the map for free. Very awkward, actually, that ShoWTimE kind of let this. He's going to intercept some reinforcements, kills a couple of SVs, gets 3 Marines as well. Could find more reinforcements. Instead, he's just going to give up the base. That ShoWTimE needed to do more to the main army. You can't let the Terran get away with this. And now Widow Mine joins up for the earlier setup. The 3rd tank was allowed to join up with the army. ShoWTimE still setting up to intercept reinforcements, but missing that 3rd tank was a big deal. And letting the army rally back together was huge. Now we've got the robo facility going down. Stalkers will find the Banshee on the other side. More Stalkers warping in at home. One of the gateways does die just after it got its warp in off. ShoWTimE is getting pressed pretty hard by this. Blink forward to try and snipe down one of the Banshees. Not able to get it. There's no bunkers here. I mean, the tanks are just so well entrenched. ShoWTimE does find a tank on the other side of the map. That's a good move. Nice little bit of micro there, saving one of the Stalkers. The Marines are getting whittled down. ShoWTimE still has what he needs to potentially take a very good fight here, but the Widow Mine does pose some problems. Immortal will lead the charge here. It is going to soak up the mine. Will get kept alive by the shield battery for a very long time. ShoWTimE doesn't save it ultimately. Could have pulled it back to that second shield battery, and that would have made this an even better break, but this was still a great break for ShoWTimE. One of the Banshees was sniped before they could slip away into the main and start sniping down probes. It was only going to be, I believe that was 2 additional probes getting picked off. And ShoWTimE took this base on the left side. This is a great situation for ShoWTimE. He's in a very good spot. Imagine how much better of a spot he'd been if he could have intercepted the 3rd tank there. I mean, Maru probably never gains any of the momentum that he did. Oh, Stalkers warp in on this base. They will intercept this Banshee. And, oh, Maru doesn't get it into the corner, so it dies. Going to free the Stalkers of ShoWTimE to move back out onto the map. Main problem right now for ShoWTimE, he's on 18 Blink Stalkers. And not a whole lot else. By not a whole lot else, I mean an observer. He does have Storm started up. It is still a ways away from completing. Now, there is a big map here. And a third command center is on the way for the Terran. Little ambush set up by Maru. This is a cute spot. I feel like ShoWTimE doesn't have super great vision to feel comfortable. But he is going to now see the main army, courtesy of this observer. Nice snipe down on a medevac. Maru immediately scanning and killing that obs. And he's been cutting SCVs for a while, so his army supply is beefy. And he is going to get a flank on ShoWTimE's units. These stalkers, oh, they will blink forward here, but Maru has so much bio. That is exactly what Maru was hoping for. ShoWTimE going to try and retreat out. He is going to be forced to recall out, but it is going to come at a hefty, hefty cost. If Maru cuts these off on the bottom side, we could see even more blink stalkers going down before the recall finally goes through. And it is 12 stalkers going down there for just a medevac, a siege tank, 2 marauders, and a marine. That is extremely good for Maru. The only thing that did for ShoWTimE was buy him time for Storm. And that's good. Great even. If you lose 3 or 4 stalkers. Losing 12? That's a lot. That's way too many. Oh, and now Zealot's going to get intercepted here. Maru could stim forward on the top side. He will do that. Does have concussive shells. 1-1 is done for Maru as well. To move forward. First Storm is not bad, and actually kind of forces Maru to split his army back around the choke. Or around the elbow, I guess, of Grezvon. There's so many elbows on Grezvon. It's a very pointy map. Throwing them dirty bows. No armory just yet. No gases at the third either for Maru. He is a player that is really decisive about when he cuts workers, when he continues to advance his economy, when he cuts upgrades. Like, he maximizes, squeezes every little ounce out of Terran that you can. We're going to see the feedback on the front line Ghost. That's a pretty nice jump for ShoWTimE, but attacking up a ramp into a ton of bio, even with storms, that's a scary prospect. ShoWTimE is on 11 gateways. I was just going to say, do we see additional tech? ShoWTimE is not the kind of player that, like a Zaun that we saw earlier in these groups, will stay on High Templar tech. Blink Stalker, Charge Lot, High Templar for an exceedingly long amount of time. He will want to tech out of this, and as we see, that is what he's doing. +2 weapons is going to be finishing up for ShoWTimE very soon. He's getting a second forge as well, so he's certainly going to want to go into 3-1 upgrades. And if he starts the +3 right away... There it is. Yeah, +1 armor obviously takes a lot less time than that +3. So even with the forge finishing a little bit later, even if he dumps like 2 extra chronos in here, it'll still be faster finishing up that +1 armor. First 2 Colossus getting fired up, and Extended Thermal Lance. This is a strong tech switch coming through. Maru did max out now, basically, more or less before starting up his next setup. He wants to be able to take good fights here with a big, big army. ShoWTimE will disengage. He's got that Prism with a High Templar inside. There are a couple Vikings here. Only 2 Vikings with the army. A third one... Oh, there we go. Yeah, just popped out. And a 4th one being produced. I was going to say 4+ Ghosts is kind of the magic number. Because EMP plus sniping down Prisms can be very powerful as a play. Maru starting up his 2-2, but there is a very real possibility we see a 3-1 versus 1-1 timing. That's going to be very scary for the Korean Terran if that ends up happening. ShoWTimE. Oh, he powers both cannons right there. EMP does come through. The Prism is being kept on the high side, on the top here. There's a double Storm High Templar, though. Managed to drop a decent Storm. Doesn't have to drop the second one. ShoWTimE getting closer and closer to this huge power spike, where he's going to have 4 Colossus, Extended Thermal Lance, and a 2 upgrade lead over his opponent. Oh, very interesting. ShoWTimE takes the forward base before taking the bottom side base. Maru getting into an additional starport, going to add on a new command center here, going up to his 5th base. Respawn is a map that is known and was known for very long macro games. Ghost Cloak coming in here. Maru trying to use these scans to engineer a great fight. ShoWTimE, this is where he wants to fight. This is when he wants to fight. He wants to fight right now. Right now for the next, 30 to 40 seconds, basically. ShoWTimE doesn't recognize his timing, though. Doesn't realize how much stronger he is than his opponent at this moment. And Maru's going to get away with... This might be the scariest timing in the game for him right now until that 2-2 is done. It's not to say he'll win if he gets 2-2 or lose if he doesn't. If ShoWTimE managed to attack, in the next 5 seconds, basically. But it does... It is a closing of a huge window. How long it takes Maru to get into the 3-3-2. There's that +3 weapons, +3 armor. Could see the +2 ship weapons coming down as an absolute priority. A lot of missile turrets coming down from Maru in the main base as well. Okay, there we go. There we go. +2 ship weapons. 6 more gateways, 2 more robos coming in for ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE going up to a crap ton of gateways. Is that 20 gateways? Yes, it is. 20 gates. Going to be 4 robos. Maru is set up defensively here, of course. With the missile turret, with that Widow Mine, he did unburrow for a moment, but obviously just trying to slowly but surely secure this base. Viking count is at 10. Liberator Siege is up here. There's a tank in the backfield. Storm is not bad. ShoWTimE a little bit choked up, though. Doesn't want to really attack through here. And even just a single Liberator is discouraging to try and attack into. Maru, of course, is going to be adding on quite a few Liberators. 4 at a time right now. They don't have their big power spike yet, though, of that advanced ballistics or that plus... Well, no, they do have advanced ballistics. It just finished. Don't have that +2 ship weapons. One of them does get sniped here. ShoWTimE looking for an angle, but once again, if you control this little high ground here, Vikings are super strong on the high ground. Scan comes in trying to snipe the Observer. He does ultimately get it. Eats some pretty big storms on the Vikings, though. Colossus can hit the mineral line from the high ground, and that's what Maru's kind of trying to mitigate with this Liberator positioning. He's also got it in a cheeky little spot where it's trying to go up on that little pervert pillar. ShoWTimE is finished up his 3-2-1 upgrades. Will find an angle on this bottom side. He's going to poke away at the wall, finds the bunker, finds a couple of depots. But Maru is, I think, okay to give up this space as long as ShoWTimE doesn't win a fight hardcore. Especially since he wants to wait for his 3-3-2, which is completing momentarily, by the way. Oh, High Templar. Drop any feedbacks? Oh, wow, he got 5 feedbacks off somewhere. Scan does come in, kills the Observer that was giving vision. That upgrade timing has completed now for Maru. He's getting the late game NG Bay upgrades. Yeah, we could be settled in for a long game here on Respawn. This could be a very long game. ShoWTimE has added his Stargates, his Fleet Beacon, even getting his single air upgrade. No second Cyber Core just yet, despite the fact that he's building a big bank at this point. ShoWTimE should be able to just kill this base, I think. Oh, but he's not going to go for it. He doesn't want to give up the position on the high ground. Maybe a little bit worried about getting surrounded. And to be fair, I would be quite worried about that too. We are going to see a High Templar getting taken down. Got EMP'd. It did still have one Storm. A lot of Protoss players seem to forget sometimes, even Terran players, that a maxed out High Templar, if it gets EMP'd once, still has a Storm available, still has 2 feedbacks, still got 100 energy to work with. It's a very important thing to recognize. We are going to see Maru starting to move forward here with the Liberator push. He's got 10 Liberators now. The Tempest count is only at 3. He just popped out. ShoWTimE does not have an Oracle as far... No, he doesn't. Not have an Oracle or Revelation. The Zealots in the middle of the map, they're going to kind of get taken out. One of them gets a Ghost. So they get 1 Ghost, I should say. Liberators are really pushing forward aggressively here. This counterattack with the Zealots is not going to get much done, honestly. There's a couple SCVs, but ShoWTimE, well, with the Tempests, going to be enough for Maru to disengage for the moment, but Maru just going to rotate down to the bottom side. Would love to see a nuke right here, just to zone out the army of ShoWTimE. In fact, though, ShoWTimE is looking for a flank potentially from the back, and it's going to be a nuke on the static defense, I should say. Maru getting in a couple more starports, going to be able to rebuild Vikings a lot quicker with that. That was a pretty lackluster nuke, honestly, in terms of what it killed. But Maru will move in now. He sweeps out all the pylons and static defenses. ShoWTimE going for the chase. Where is the Prism with the High Templar in it? Well, I'm not sure. Maru just kind of getting the base kill, not entirely for free. There's a few exit kills for ShoWTimE. But that was pretty darn good, I would say, for Maru. Oh. What did he just shoot? Was that another Zealot? Where is that Prism? Oh, it's just sitting at home with a High Templar underneath. Well, that's kind of funky. I think you kind of do need this. Ooh, Disruptor. Oh, wow. There was definitely... Where's the vision? Again, came in from Maru, so he definitely cleared that Observer instantly. Yeah, Disruptor flying out from there at like 6 of your Ghosts. That's a little bit sus. High Templar does drop a decent little Storm, but it will get taken down rather quickly. Storms on the Vikings and Disruptors. This is going to be the fight right here. Maru, does he have enough to clean this up? Massive Zealot Warpin coming in on the left side. Vikings will find a lot of these air units, but Maru just lost so much there. The Storms on the Vikings and Liberators. ShoWTimE, I wonder if Warping and Stalkers would have been a better move, but Zealots will be enough to push Maru back, and Maru's bank is gone. ShoWTimE has so much money in the bank and all of the momentum in this game. Maru is in huge trouble now after that engagement. And I think ShoWTimE is just going to be able to muscle through this position. He might just win the game here and now. Feedback's coming in on top of the Ghosts. Planetary Fortress, there was a tank guarding it, but the Stalkers do snipe it down very, very quickly. We've got Colossus coming through on the rebuild. ShoWTimE knows he has the momentum. Maru's trying to make a stand at the natural. Oh, but now there's that Oracle. Uh-oh. Scan. He's going to hit EMP the High Templar very, very nicely there. Maru, though, even with that, does he have enough to actually even fight? No. No, he doesn't. He's got such a small amount of bio, even though that was a beautiful EMP. Now we're going to see ShoWTimE absolutely rushing this planetary. Will take it down very quickly. Disruptor showing up as well. They're going to land an okay-ish shot. Not bad. It's a Marauder. But more so than anything, ShoWTimE is now free to go about the murdering of Maru's outlying bases. Now, ShoWTimE will want to trade out these charge lots. The most dangerous thing for ShoWTimE now in this game is that he takes one bad fight and loses it. Other than that, he's got this basically wrapped up. And, oh wow, we've got 5 more gases coming in for ShoWTimE. Yeah, that's about all he needs is a little bit more tech. A bit more tech to his setup. And Maru, I mean, he's got one army with which to try and win the game. He just rebuilt 7 SCVs at a time. He does have 8 orbitals, which is actually a crazy number of orbital command centers. But I don't think that's enough to win you the game. Now, this army, ShoWTimE kind of waffling a little bit about how he takes this fight. Storm going to be good at discouraging this. Zealots will get out on the top side and will gut the SCV count once again. This Liberator will clean up a lot of these Zealots, though. Fuel drop is strong. Maru's army supply is very high. ShoWTimE might have sacked a few probes. Funnily enough, he's actually building one more. Yeah, I don't want to count Maru out. Like, this is an insanely strong army he's got. And ShoWTimE, oh, little flanking Ruppy. Doesn't get much done. The Storm either. Keeping your opponents scared while they try and push out is always a good move. There we go. There's some Tempests being added back in by ShoWTimE. He's also back up to 4 Colossus. Maru's army is, once again, very scary. But ShoWTimE's bank, his mobility, his map presence, and the potential is so much higher. And he will find Maru out of position on this top right base. Going to kill the command center here. Maru going to try and trap these units in here with the Liberation Zones, but the Storms are going to be massive. Maru may have enough to win this first fight, but can he win the inevitable Remax versus the inevitable Remax? Nice EMP at the tail end, but it's after the Storms got their devastating damage. ShoWTimE just basically needs to retreat and repop. Maru on 29 SCVs now. He's retaking bases at a really quick rate. Like, he invested in the orbitals fast, and he's able to mule very strongly. I'm impressed that he's still in this game. That stasis trap did end up connecting on a few bio units. Maru has recognized, like, yeah, I need to build on the small wins I've gotten. If he can knock out... Well, how many bases does he need to knock out of ShoWTimE's? Oh, DT's now being added on. At the minimum, he needs to knock out this base for sure. And ShoWTimE's going to let him, but ShoWTimE's now got the army supply advantage again, while still enjoying a big economic lead. Big link forward coming in from ShoWTimE. Maru doesn't have the units left over. Disruptor coming in. GG is called before the Nova goes off. But that Nova was going to be a big one. And that victory for ShoWTimE is a big one, too. Going up 1-0 over Maru. Wah-wah-wee-wah. Damn. Not have that on the old bingo card. All right, Maganatha for game numero dos. Game number 2. All right. Well done from ShoWTimE there. Not quite puppy level cute. That's fair. It's a fair statement. ShoWTimE was extremely patient during that game. He did a really good job of never overextending. All right, game number 2. Spawning down on the bottom right. It is Sentinel ShoWTimE. In the blue. Oh, nope, we gotta switch scene still. That's my bad. I was not on studio mode. There we go. Put it back on. Spawning down on the bottom right, it is the Sentinel ShoWTimE. In the blue. And his opponent spawning up the top left for Vitality. It is Maru. In the red. ShoWTimE has had some great series against Maru in the past, but Maru's always been one of those, I mean, legendary players that it's just so hard to actually beat him. I want to say it was Data C, one of the most famous ones. I think that was at TSL 9, where I feel like ShoWTimE made like... He just made so many Zealots. Like, just a ridiculous number of Zealots. Truly crazy. We're going to be seeing Gas first, by the way, out of ShoWTimE. Gas first, no Scout. Arstum would be proud. Going to enable some quick tech. We might very well see a fast sentry with this. Of course, with that energy recharge, the new ability on the Nexus, you're going to be able to get a very quick hallucination scout on your opponent, see what they're doing. Even when Terran players rush up to a Cyclone, you cannot actually deny the scout. It actually gets in before the Cyclone's out, even if that's literally your first unit. Even if you actually cut your first Marine to build the tech lab. Now, Maru's not doing this, and in fact, he's going for the reactor here. The Cyclone does still give you some map presence if you go for that, but if he is, it's going to be off of building the tech lab here at this factory. We'll see in a moment what Maru elects to do. Okay, looks like he wants the Hellion for scouting. This may very well just be a 2-mine drop, 2 mine drop. ShoWTimE, though, for his part. Oh, is this going to be a cheeky... Is this a proxy DT build with the gateway? That is what my Spidey sense is telling me. Got a lot of gas in the bank with this gas first. There it is. Proxy Dizzle Tizzle Shrizzle. Dank Templar. And like Zest before him. I always think of Zest when I see this build. If you build the gateway with it, I always think of Zest. We don't see Raven builds very often these days. I mean, yeah, Terran players are not making the early Raven often at all. Now, off of this double mine drop, the Raven opener is far more prevalent. But ShoWTimE, not known as a cheesy player or even particularly aggressive. So this is the kind of thing that could definitely catch Maru off guard. Going to be up to him to sniff it out. He does go for the tech lab, and double tech lab. Okay, so it's going to be most likely tank and Raven. So there's a very good chance he will have something in order to do with this, unless it's Banshee. He did go for the Banshee in the previous game. Went for that little move out. Oh, this is so good. This is so good for ShoWTimE. Oh, this is so good for ShoWTimE. Got the gas to warp in multiple DTs here. Maru will go for the mine drop. Oh, there's a mine and a Hellion, or 2 mines and a Hellion. I didn't even realize. Nice little split from ShoWTimE. Does Maru get the last shot? Yes, he does. In fact, oh, wow. The Hellion, oh my god, ShoWTimE losing a lot of probes to a single Hellion on 2 HP. 5 probes in total going down. DT on the other side of the map, though, is going to get in. 1 getting into the main base as well. Banshee. Oh, gonna get away from the scan. He will get away from the scan. Oh my god, this is so bad for Maru. Maru's in so much trouble right now. He's building a Raven now, but ShoWTimE's going to get another potentially 3 SCVs here in the main base that were left behind. Cancel the 3rd CC. It's already a gigantic lead for ShoWTimE in the macro. Meanwhile, this medevac drop is going to get tracked down. Widowmine will drop out. It is going to be a very quick split from ShoWTimE. A cleanup on the mine. The DT and the natural has been cleaned up. The one in the main will get cleaned up shortly, but look at this supply lead, this worker lead. We'll see this DT getting cleaned up for sure. It's not getting away. Can be a bit of a nuisance with it. Oh, drop the auto turret. That is extra value where ShoWTimE didn't even need extra value. This is looking ridiculously good right now for the German Protoss player. He's up 17 workers at the moment. Oh, he was so close to spotting this Raven move out. If he had found and killed that, Now, one thing I will say, there's no detection for ShoWTimE at all, and Cloak was completed. Maru's building Banshees now. ShoWTimE just now throws down a Robo. ShoWTimE is also probing ridiculously hard, given the advantage he's already gotten himself. ShoWTimE, now is not the time to be greedy. I mean, he's building all his production, so there's that. He's gone up to 6 gases. And is going up. He's going to go to 67 probes. Oh, it's going to be mech from Maru. I talked about this at the very beginning of the series, that I was feeling like there was a chance we'd see this. Cloak Banshee will get into the main base, but there's a shield battery here. Observer is going to be out in a moment. Shield battery in the natural as well. This is unbelievably good for ShoWTimE. And he spots this. Gets the early bit of damage on this. I do like the decloak from Maru. Going to save the energy that he can. ShoWTimE should probably just put this Observer in the bottom right. But I suppose he doesn't want to get bamboozled, chase it too far. Stalker's in the middle. Will find a siege tank here. Actually, he might get all 3. He commits hard for them. He will get all 3. And Maru is going to lose so many units here. It's expensive, admittedly. I think just about every Protoss will take 4 Stalkers for 3 siege tanks in a position like this. I would be very hard-pressed to find a Protoss that won't take that trade. Every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And it is Sunday right now. Observer. Okay, it looks like this Banshee will actually cloak up and escape out. Wow, good job for Maru there. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the Stalkers of ShoWTimE moving forward once again. They didn't snipe down this tank, so he actually does lose. Loses a fair number of Stalkers there. The thing is, he's now on 8 gates. He's got this Prism done. He's got Storm done. Or he's got this Prism started up. He's got this Robo done. He's got Storm started up. Like, he's even got this Reinforcing Pylon. Maru should not in a million years be able to secure this 3rd base easily. Ooh, interception on the Banshee is very nice by ShoWTimE. Yeah, I feel like just warping in charge lots nonstop, even charge lot Archon. And this game is, I mean, it's all but over. ShoWTimE does realize, yeah, he saw this second factory. He realizes it's mech. Now that's, maybe there's a chance. Okay, is there even any anti-air? No, it's not really any anti-air. There's 5 Marines and a Raven. Maybe if ShoWTimE makes a huge mistake with the Observer and detection gets sniped, the Banshees can hold the ground army. And maybe, okay, I was just going to say with an incredible Sim City, Maru recognizing what he needs. Building a beautiful wall here to try and soak up the Zealot charges. ShoWTimE will get in here. Hellbats are going to funnel on the one side. Anti-armor missile is going to be nice. Bunker is holding despite not being repaired. Maru with a strong defensive setup, and he will drive this first attack of ShoWTimE back very hard. I love the rebuild on the wall. ShoWTimE could rotate over to this right side. If Maru manages to hold on and make something of this game, that would already in and of itself be legendary. Storms were pretty much a non-factor there. We're going to see High Templar trying to drop in once again. There's not even any great targets for the Storms. This is a very bad fight from ShoWTimE. Oh, man. I don't know what we're doing. This is bizarre. Like, it's a really great hold from Maru, don't get me wrong, and a really great defensive setup. But yeah, this is like don't attack into so many siege tanks behind a wall. I'm so impressed that Maru is making anything happen here. Like, I really, really didn't believe there was any world in which he'd be alive at this point with the damage he took early. Maru finally going to throw down a 4th CC here. Oh, no, sorry. He's got one. Ha! I forgot that this was a command center on the wall. I literally didn't think of it as a command center because it was just part of this wall. God, what a clutch move for Maru. And now we've got Hellions on the other side of the map. ShoWTimE once again warping in. Oh my god, so many Zealots here. Okay, this is what I wanted to see here. Warp Prism coming in to the back line. He's been attacking into Maru's strongest positions on the map. But now we're going to see a little bit of a switch up. And I think that's pretty necessary. Hyperflight Rotors coming in from Maru as well. He's been using the Banshees defensively, and they are very strong if you can keep them safe. Like, Banshee DPS versus ground is really good. So you don't need that Hyperflight Rotors until you want to move out with them again. This is a sick game right now from Maru, I gotta say. He does need another base, though. ShoWTimE, despite some missteps, a couple of them were pretty big, he does still have a massive, massive lead. I honestly kind of wish he was taking more bases at this point. Banshees will eventually kill this one cannon. There's another one behind it, but there's no detection now. Maru recognizing it, saying, okay, I can just kill your mineral line. ShoWTimE does pull back, but nice move from Maru. Observer will get in here. We are going to see a Robotics Bay starting up. This has got to be an annoying game for ShoWTimE, honestly. Because, I mean, given the start, I think most people would agree that this game should feel over. So when your opponent puts up as strong a defense as Maru has, and now starts harassing on the other side of the map, being a real big nuisance, it does not feel good to be on the receiving end. You're like, I'm supposed to have won this game. This game is supposed to be over right now. Scan comes in the middle of the map. We'll spot a bunch of charge lots. ShoWTimE just going single upgrade on his Forge. He did get a Stargate. Has not added air upgrades yet. Has not gotten a Fleet Beacon. That was an option. And still is. Like, if ShoWTimE had gone straight into Tempest or something before the 4th base was even a thought, really, for Maru, I don't know that Maru could have done much about it. But now we've got Stalkers on the right side of the map. They do snipe a Raven, or pardon me, yeah, they do snipe a Raven. But ShoWTimE will lose both of his Observers, and that means these Banshees can go back to cloaking. It feels weird to say it, but I almost feel like at this point, Maru is almost ahead. I don't actually... maybe he actually is. He feels ahead, at the very least. Vibes-wise, he's way ahead in vibes. Maru is crushing it in vibes in this game. Gonna kill this cannon once again at this base. And ShoWTimE losing another 5 probes, a little bit more lost mining time. I mean, Maru's on 4 bases versus a lot more for ShoWTimE. But it just feels like Maru is winning this game now. And I mean, if we look at the banks, look at the upgrades, doesn't look great for ShoWTimE. 2-2, well, 2-1 is done. We're about to have +2 armor on the mech, and +3 vehicle weapons is starting up and is actually pretty far along. It's already almost a third of the way done. And ShoWTimE has been trading half as efficient as his opponent. Only thing I'd like to see more from Maru right now maybe is more missile turrets, like scattered around to find observers. Oh, never mind. There's one right there. Banshees get a little close to that one Archon, but he's able to kill the other one. This is the kind of move ShoWTimE needed. This is the kind of move he needed to find Maru out of position and kill a base. He gets a ton of SCVs as well. And just like that, that is a lot of losses for Maru. But will ShoWTimE get out with all this army? He's going to storm the Cyclones on the bottom side. Hellbats kind of trudging their way through here. ShoWTimE still has so many opportunities in this game. But 2-2 Thors, and in this case, it's going to be 3-2 Thors pretty soon, versus 1-0-0 carriers. Even 1-1-0 carriers is really bad for the Protoss. We do see the command center lifting up by Maru. Maru will be able to secure this left side base potentially. Again, comes in, kills the observer that wasn't initially killed off. More zealots are actually trying to flood in. Not a lot of tanks here, and there's not a lot to buffer for them. But enough of a rotation comes in for Maru to hold the position. I'm actually blown away by what I'm seeing from Maru right now. Mech is not supposed to work against Protoss. Even with the Cyclone being stronger than than previously agreed upon. This is quite incredible because he's mostly done it with tanks before this. Now we are going to see ShoWTimE. He should be able to kill this command center. He sets it on fire, but it's actually being repaired. The Banshees are going to push this back. ShoWTimE committed pretty far in, but he didn't commit for the kill. He was so close to getting that. The building armor that Maru went for actually did save Maru's bacon. Link is completed for the DTs, but the DT Shrine will fall. Gan comes in for Maru. He saw one. Yeah, okay. He sees the same stalkers. He's checking to see if ShoWTimE's going to poke back in. Really like to see Maru just mass repair this. Maybe even if he can find the money. He really can't. I was going to say if he can find the money, would love to see him build a planetary out front, but he needs to take a lot of really good fights for still a little bit more time for this to be okay for him. But man, these Banshees, they have just been such a thorn in the side of ShoWTimE. And now the Thor count, it's up to 8. He's about to, sorry, 9. One more just popped out, and there's another one that'll pop out in a moment. He's about to have his 3-3 done. ShoWTimE is getting close to 2-2-1 for his air, and we'll be on 2-0, sorry, 2-1-1 very shortly. Yeah. +2 weapons, +2 armor, +1 shields. We are going to see the carriers showing up here. But, I mean, the Thor count is very high. Storm coming in on top of the SCVs trying to repair this planetary, but they already top it back up to full. Interceptor count getting gutted very quickly. Carrier does fall, at least one. No, he lost 2. Did not kill a single Thor there, but DTs on the top side. They were made before the Dark Shrine was taken down. Going to see ShoWTimE. Did he recall there? Nope, just Archon Morph. I mean, I guess it occupied the battle mech for a little bit longer, but kind of raised the morale, I feel like. Maru is starting to run low on money, but his army supply is far from flagging. And Cyclones are going to be able to chase this one carrier. Double lock onto it. It will get taken down very quickly there. Anti-armor missile going to land as well. Oh my God, look at those interceptors disappear. Once the mech army gets this strong, it does become difficult to deal with. But now we're going to see ShoWTimE starting to go a little bit guerrilla mode. However, his bank is fully depleted. And he's not actually mining a significant amount. Maru could walk across the map and I think maybe just kill ShoWTimE. ShoWTimE, though, is getting into the disruptors. And even though they're not the power units they used to be, they're still very good against Thors. Not what they used to be clear. But still very effective tools. Oh, what do we have? Recalled. Where? Oh, what? That was like the weirdest recall of all time. If Maru does win this game, this will legitimately be one of the best comebacks of all time. It started out as a, okay, he's alive, but now what? And it is slowly but surely grown into an, okay, he's maxed out, but now what? Okay, he's on 4 bases, but now what? And now it is, he's got an equivalent bank to his opponent. There's a slightly bigger gas bank for ShoWTimE, but not much. He's still got very good upgrades. The problem, though, is ShoWTimE is adding on more air upgrades. And so the advantage the Thors had, it's still, well, I mean, it's still big. They're units that skill better with their upgrades than their counterparts. Oh, ShoWTimE. I don't know about this one. He's going to move forward here into this. We'll take down one Thor. There's a nice little disruptor shot. Another couple ones getting thrown out. They get a couple more mech units, but it feels like that was maybe not the fight for ShoWTimE. And now the chase is going to be really painful for him. Using another carrier, a couple of additional High Templar. Felt like ShoWTimE kind of just sat there with that army and waited until Maru's stronger unit showed up and blasted him back. ShoWTimE may have been trying to draw Maru into an attack so that he can counterattack, but it feels like this is Maru taking more and more control of this game. ShoWTimE, though, will be able to force a lift on this original third base location. Oh, Cyclones. Yeah, they are going to get blasted down pretty quickly. Nice blink here from ShoWTimE, but there's a lot of mech units behind it. After sniping that one tank. Ooh, but Zealot warping into the main base. The tank living up to its name, doing a heck of a lot of tanking. There's actually going to be the healing up Hellbat that may very well hold the line. Wow. That was a badass Hellbat. Not oftentimes you say that. The army of ShoWTimE does still have the mobility, and Maru's economy is getting really heavily clipped away. ShoWTimE dropping some storms. It's chip damage. It's very small chip damage, but it can add up and slowly whittle down his opponent's army. ShoWTimE is he in a little bit of trouble right now with this army? He's kind of pinned on the right side. Not sure if he's got a recall available. These High Templar, they got to be careful. One of them does go down to a Cyclone. Stalkers blink forward to cover the rest. But the army of Maru is kind of taking a brilliant middle position. Ooh, disruptors on the pocket. I guess this was the fourth base originally of ShoWTimE. One of them gets taken down before its disruptor shot lands. The second one gets an okay shot. It's only 100 damage per, though. It does take 4 disruptor shots now to kill a Thor from full HP. It's a lot. It is a lot. It's not as strong as it used to be clear. It's more so that you can hit multiple Thors at once, a lot of times from out of range, but you got to be really, really good with the control. Maru is maxed out again. He kills possibly multiple bases. At the very least, he's going to kill so many workers. And now he comes back home. ShoWTimE will get an orbital command at a base that is mined out just about. Oh, these tanks a little bit caught unsieged. Is this the fight ShoWTimE needed? I mean, yes, but will it be enough? Storms on the Thors. Siege tanks are going to get taken down, but the carriers get absolutely obliterated. The Thors, there is a good concave for the Stalkers against them, but the Thors are so strong with their 3-3. And ShoWTimE's army disappears. Maru gets it done with the mech. OMG. Faceless. Well done by Maru. Oh my god. What the game? Unbelievable that after the eco damage he took, and the eco ShoWTimE got away with afterwards, that Maru was able to survive and make that a win. Like, that is legit unheard of. I am almost definitely not going to be able to finish this group now. Which really sucks, but it is what it is. And I mean, I would rather the games be awesome and epic like this. Yeah. Okay, we do have to run a minute and a half of ads on Twitch. I do apologize, but we're going to miss the action otherwise. These games have been so long. Ah, okay. Well, there's a 3-minute break anyways for the players. Yeah, that's really tough for ShoWTimE there, because Maru was like in such a bad spot, but the wall he built The wall he built there was just insane. Really, really nice. I mean, when you can't use units to keep your mech units safe, just use buildings. Such a simple concept, but like, honestly, so sick. Will not see more mech because it's an auto loss versus 4-gate blink. We'll see. We'll see. Not saying that 4-gate blink isn't very good against it, and there aren't a lot of things that are very good against it, but let's be real. ShoWTimE had the biggest lead there. And was not able to close it out. Like, yeah. Charge Ladder Mortal Archon is also extremely strong against mech. It is. But attacking into the wall like that really let the siege tanks and Banshees. The Banshees and siege tanks behind that wall were just so strong. If ShoWTimE, yeah, just rotates to the right side or transitions into Sky Toss, like, much quicker. And like, there's a lot of things that he could have done there. There's Orb Prism in the main. When he sees that wall going up the front, that can be very disruptive. It's not necessarily going to win you the game, but it can definitely cause a lot of issues. There's Storm Drop on mineral lines. Once again, to cause a lot of issues. But for kill moves, we could have seen a mothership built. ShoWTimE was far enough ahead in economy, and Maru was committed enough to the defense on 3 bases that we could have seen a mothership and a big recall into the main base. That would have been a super valid play. Maru probably will eventually clean it up, but then you just recall out with the main army. Like, it's... There's a lot of things. A lot of things that could have done more. He had a wall at the third, too. Yeah, but it wasn't the same wall. He had a really good wall at the... like, in the middle. He had an okay-ish wall on the side of the third. It was good enough. I mean, I think it was good enough to hold. I don't think it was good enough to easily, like, take the position. Yeah, well, that's the thing, is just go Sky Toss and auto win. Yeah, that's kind of the bigger thing. But, like, if you really... Because you do want to sell it. You do want to sell it that you're attacking. He could have just poked at the edges and found value and got Maru to commit to even more tanks on the defense. Because bonus versus bio. That's true. If ShoWTimE does go on to lose this series, I mean, that's the kind of game that it can leave a mark on your soul, you know? All right, here we go. Spawning down in the bottom left. Oh. Nope. Spawning down in the bottom left. It is Vitality's Maru. In the red. And his opponent spawning up the top right. For the Sentinels, it is ShoWTimE. In the blue. Hopefully the webcam... Oh, there we go. Woke back up. I kind of agree. I feel like Maru should not have been really able to land that third at all. But even with that happening, the difference in tech you can get versus a mech player like that is immense. Like, it would be the same thing if a Terran player has to build like 15 siege tanks or something against a Zerg, or 10, 12 siege tanks against a Zerg. And the Zerg player is able to be on 5 bases. They get up a hive. They get up Broodlords, and they just, you know, you make 8 Broodlords and you just win the game. Yeah. Now, obviously, if there's a 4th base for the Terran and it's a different scenario, then they can afford Thors. They can, you know, get the tools they need. Maybe Vikings. But in that scenario, the economic disparity could have been enough for ShoWTimE to just win the game. Like Seb said in the chat, with a relatively straightforward Sky Toss transition. And it could have been Tempests or Carriers, I think. I think either would have been totally fine there. But either way, I just got to tip my cap to Maru, because that was a pretty sick defense. Oh, Thor can definitely beat Broodlord. I'm just giving an example. I having been in that situation where Broodlords get wrecked by a mech very, very often, I know that Broodlords are not... That's like a bad comparison. But Carriers and Tempests are even better, I would say. Thors still do very well against them if the Thors have the upgrade advantage, or even just if Thors have good upgrades, because, I mean, they still just kind of shred Carriers and Tempests. It's also worth noting that ShoWTimE did not play heavy Immortal that game either. But it is kind of difficult to do against the Meg Field Accelerator Cyclones. Cyclones track them down quite nicely. Now, Maru is opening up, or did open up, with a double Gasaroo. And ShoWTimE skipping shield batteries completely. And in fact, is going to full wall his front to block these out. It was double Gasaroo, right? Yeah, it was. Like, am I crazy?
Research complete.
Are we going to see 4-gate blink? We are. Okay, so it seems as though ShoWTimE... Well, no, this is probably going to be a canceled gate. Yeah. That'll be 3-gate blink at least. 3rd game in a row now we see from Maru, opening up with the Cloaked Banshee. Cloaked Banshee. Actually, no, it was Fake Cloak in game 1, wasn't it? Yes, it was, I think. Oh, now I'm getting my wires crossed. 1 Reaper does go down. Nice positioning here from ShoWTimE. Able to get the kill with one of those. Obviously, he pulled back the Stalkers for a moment, but that was mostly to say, hey, you try and move forward. I'm not letting you. 1 Adept will get locked onto and killed. There's no shield battery in the front here. So Maru is got a lot of opportunity here. But once Blink completes, I feel like this becomes very, very scary for him. Okay, well, he kind of gets out just in the nick of time, because that was a fair bit of a faster blink than normal. 4:37, I want to say, is when it completed. And if Maru sticks around for about 5 more seconds, probably loses that entire medevac worth of units. As it is, ShoWTimE still cleans up everything and only loses 1 probe, 1 adept. Not sure, I shouldn't say cleans up everything. Cleans up the initial 3 units. Maru, I'm thinking we're going to see mech again. I think we would have probably already seen additional barracks. It's possible it's not, but he has gone for 4 gases at the natural, or, well, both gases at the natural, 4 gases total. Very fast 3rd CC. There it is. Magfield Accelerator. Yep. We gonna be seeing mech once again. This Banshee just barely slipping out. This one in the natural. Oh my God. No, he did not just juke him. No, he did not. His blink forward, though, should be able to kill it. He wasn't right on top of it, so it gets away into the corner. Now it's still trapped. It is still trapped. There should be no world in which this Banshee actually escapes out. But there shouldn't have been a world where it survived anyways. Ooh, good job from ShoWTimE here with the positioning. Oh, he didn't blink forward with both Stalkers. Like he was a little bit gun-shy, maybe. Maybe this one had its blink on cooldown. I'm not sure. Maru going to try and angle through here. ShoWTimE, if he blinks across. Oh, Maru takes the cut angle and gets away. These Banshee pilots, man. They're like, oh, no, never mind. One of them's Iceman. Oh, no. Or Ice Woman? I was gonna say, they're like Maverick and whatever. I've never seen Top Gun. They're like the guys that do the fighters real good. These guys sure are good at the fighters. We just see a... Huh. Did Maru just hallucinate? He scanned... Oh, wait. Is this the observer here? No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Oh, no, it was the third observer. Okay, so it just escaped. Here comes the wall, but... Mauer says... No, he doesn't say. And comes in, will kill the observer. That's going to eliminate this vision. You're going to see charge lots coming through. +1 weapons is done. Magfield Accelerator and the defensive Banshees. Will they be enough to hold here? There's an observer held in reserve. Oh, Maru wanted to move out. Siege Tank does get some good shots. This is going to be a much more difficult position to hold for Maru, but the Siege Tanks are very well set up. And charge lots kind of get melted there. Oh, wow. That was a really great defensive fight for Maru again. The SCV pull was timely. The tanks positioned very nicely behind this. But there we go. There's the Prism in the main. That's what I was looking for before. Now, I would love to see actually a second Prism made. ShoWTimE will ultimately kill a lot of his opponent's workers. 19 SCVs going down. And ShoWTimE does have his own fourth Nexus done. Banshees with speed will be able to find a couple of these units. They are low on cloak energy as well. Maru is definitely in a little bit of crisis mode right now. The fact that the Marine count is still kind of high is a little bit misleading about the power of how much Maru has, because that's, 9 supply that's not as effectively set up to fight. But it's also pretty good for dealing with the Zealots charging it on top of this. It's keeping the tanks a little bit safer. There's that Stargate this time. ShoWTimE, I really hope we see a faster transition. But he is not as far ahead as he was in game number 2. In fact, I don't even know if I would say he's even... No, he's ahead. He's ahead. But, well, actually, will that persist? Oh, ShoWTimE missing the... He feedbacked the same Banshee like 3 times. Finally got the feedback on this one. How many feedbacks did he cast? 4? Okay, well, maybe it was just... Okay, maybe he just missed 1 feedback then. Scan comes in. I love that. Checking for where the army is so that he can plot an escape route with these Banshees. Yeah, it looked like more than 1 extra feedback was used, but apparently it was just 1 extra. Banshee on the right side. Going to be a nuisance once again. Maru finding little bits of chip damage and lots of lost mining time with these little plays. ShoWTimE adding on a Phoenix. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. But still no fleet beacon. Now, this time his economy, does not have the oomph, the punch, the advantage that it did. Maru is going to be able to build 3 missile turrets in the main base, and that will, of course, help a ton against these Prism flybys that were really causing a lot of harm. Blue Flame Hellions are, well, Blue Flame upgrade is done on the Hellions. This is a lot of workers all at this base. Maru could find pay dirt right there. Zealot's going to look for a drop in onto... Oh, no, Storm drop. That's what I wanted to see before as well. And it does get some decent value. Very nicely done right there by ShoWTimE. Keeping Maru small. But still no big tech transition. It's still only single robo. There's still no fleet beacon. Yes, he's getting into now a 3rd Phoenix. He's going to try and lift up a couple tanks and dive in at some point. Maru, by the way, did lose his 1 barracks. So he's rebuilt it now so he can out on additional factories. There we go, getting up to his 6th, 7th, and 8th factories. Oh, Banshees. Almost found a couple of High Templar. Instead, it's actually the Hellions finding this army. Planetary Fortress not yet done. Banshees will retreat back home for the moment. Sensor Tower completes. Planetary will complete as well. ShoWTimE not going to push the issue right this moment. And if he had and the attack went badly, it obviously would have been pretty brutal for him. Oh, Observer does spot this army a little bit. Gravitic Booster kicks in the Observer speed. Not quite able to chase this down. ShoWTimE, though, does have an Observer on the other side. That's why, of course, he was positioning to deal with that. Maru, how many tech labs does he have on his factories? 3 so far. Maybe 2 more tech labs, 1 more reactor. So, going to be able to pump out 5 siege tanks, Thors, or Cyclones at a time. If he is so inclined. Observer does get picked off here. 1 Cyclone will get taken down, but Stalkers do not want to go much further there. Oh, looks like that is a snipe on... How many High Templar? 2 High Templar with these Banshees. Maru could have stuck around and potentially killed that Immortal, but he knows about the Phoenixes. Nice scan, by the way. Sees a big gateway swell. Does see that the Cyber Core is active, but once again, well, no Fleet Beacon. ShoWTimE not expanding as quickly as he could either. He is expanding relatively fast. Maru getting very close to 2-2 on his mech. That's a big power spike for those mech units. ShoWTimE. See if he continues forward with the upgrades. This time, okay, well, now he's triple expanding. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm very happy to see. Maru will just sack these Marines. Much as anything, I think they're going for scouting. He doesn't care about getting kills, really. I mean, if you can kill High Templar, then yeah, you always do that. Every time. Actually, the Marines are being brought back home. That's kind of weird. Did he F2? Maybe. Banshees are going to get spotted here in the middle. Ah, that's a good pickoff for ShoWTimE. Very nice pickoff. Maru has completed his 2-2 now for the mech. He's got a decent-sized bank, so there's, yeah, absolutely no reason to not go into 3-3, and he's right on top of it. Has not gotten the late-game engineering bay upgrades just yet. Got the building armor last time. I don't believe he ever got the range. That is a lot of tanks and Cyclones in this army, and Hellbats for that matter. This army of Maru is very strong. Ooh, ShoWTimE's got to be careful. He pokes into the middle. He's made a lot more Immortals this time than I think he did previous game. He's still on 5, which is not a crazy amount, but it's more than before for sure. ShoWTimE going to try and set up on the back of this base. I don't think he was anticipating Maru sieging up here. Anti-armor missile does come through. Storms will discourage a chase, especially with the Hellbats being very slow and difficult to get through those storms or avoid them. ShoWTimE is mining more, but Maru's army is a lot more powerful. I think you kind of got a base trade right now with ShoWTimE, but Maru is positioned so much further across the map. It is going to be a counterattack coming in on top of this side. The wall was not complete here. Oh, but it's a cute little Phoenix lift. Each tank in the main base is going to be good. We see Maru coming home with a good amount of Hellbat Cyclone. Going to deal with this attack on the left side while being able to kill this pocket base at the forward position. Immortals are going to move in on the other side. Might get this gold base, this half gold. They're actually going to be able to potentially, well, he gets the bottom side base, but he will get pushed back from here. Storms can be used on the Cyclones and Hellbats, but ShoWTimE is holding them. He's got a lot of High Templar behind this, but not a lot to cover for the Immortals besides that. Storms are he's very patient with this. Like, he's not using the Storms often. Very patient. But it feels like he would be using them a lot more frequently. We do see a big Stalker counterattack on the top side. Going to be able to find the pocket base of Maru, potentially. These are some good little maneuvers from ShoWTimE, but Maru is trading quite a bit more efficiently so far. I do like this little tank setup here from Maru. ShoWTimE, is he going to try and move into this? He will, and he will take some big losses. Doesn't get any of the tanks, just gets a command center incidentally. Storms, though, on this mineral line are going to be good. ShoWTimE, oh, target fire from the Planetary Fortress, finding 3-4 High Templar. He gets another one, he gets another one. Oh, that Planetary, the hero building. And now Cyclone's actually able to move through this because the rocks were taken down, the debris was taken down. Recall saves the majority of the Immortals. ShoWTimE losing this base on the bottom right. He's going to try and counterattack once again with a bunch of Zealots. But there are Hellbats and SCVs to try and tank for these siege tanks. However, not enough. This will break through a little bit. Oh, but Cyclones coming in from behind are going to be able to find a lot of kills. There's enough Zealots to soak the first round of lock-ons, but the next set will clean up the remaining Zealots. Barely getting that second tank for it. Oh, but this might be ShoWTimE's moment. A lot of tanks on their own. Immortals and Zealots going to jump them. That was a really nice find for ShoWTimE. Maru, though, still has a lot of moolah, a lot of cash. He's able to replenish very quickly here with a much bigger army supply. ShoWTimE, despite having so many bases and a pretty darn good economy, he cannot rebuild immediately, but what he can do is spend his entire gas bank and pump it into Archons. That is a lot of Archons here. And now we are going for it. Charge lot, Immortal, Archon, High Templar. Now, Cyclones are going to be pretty good against that. But in these numbers, will they be good enough? 3-3 is done for this mech. Maru wisely pulling back and resieging his tanks a little bit. Can't believe this Planetary survived and killed as many High Templar as it did. Sick target fire from Maru, recognizing that ShoWTimE was not anticipating that target fire on the High Templar. Archons do get locked onto. They're going to get cooked pretty hard. But they will mostly be able to break those lock-ons and survive. Both players are still maxed out. Storm, not going to be the most effective against these SCVs, but he captures a couple of them. One High Templar getting taken down incidentally. There is a Planetary on this bottom side. There's a counterattack coming in from Maru on the other side. Immortals can just chonk down this base, and they will. How many units does he lose for it, though? A lot of lock-ons coming through, so it's going to be a lot of losses for ShoWTimE. Storm comes through at the last second, just as that High Templar was dying. Oh, Archon dying as well on the other side. ShoWTimE will defend his top left base while killing one of Maru's most important bases. I would say actually his last full mining base, really. Maru can get some SCVs back over here. Needs to reorganize his economy a little bit, but ShoWTimE hasn't won this game yet, despite some very good fights for him. Oh, getting this base up and running on the bottom right is very good. He's actually building four. He maxed out the pro production on just this one base. Maxed out the queue. Storms on the ramp. Obviously, Storms are not the most effective against mech, but they do chip damage. Like I was saying before, they whittle away. They whittle away. Now, this Warp Prism. Oh, he's got the double Prism. He's going to try and fly by. Does he have speed? Yes, he does. And he will get past. However, Maru was ready. He will just gun down that Prism. That could have been a very dangerous moment for Maru. Zealots running amok in his backline is not what he needs right now. Ooh, these Immortals, they're going to be able to chomp down this Planetary very quickly. He almost got some massive kills on the High Templar again with that Planetary. Maru is so heads up with these plays, but ShoWTimE will be able to get away this time. Recognized it. Stalkers and Immortals. He's really abusing the immobility of mech quite a bit better this game than the previous one. Feels like ShoWTimE has mentally adjusted very nicely since game number 1. Or since game number 2, I should say. Ooh, we do have the counterattack coming in here for Maru. Going to be able to potentially find this base. Little pocket gold. Maru could knock down these rocks, but I think he likes that this mineral patch is still set up. It allows him to abuse the range advantage of those Cyclones and of those siege tanks. Maru is trading a lot more efficiently than ShoWTimE, but not necessarily enough to make up for the income disparity. However, I like that he's not rebuilding SCVs. Oh, wow. Look at that. He's building more medevacs off of this landed starport that landed in the middle of Timbuktu. Maru realizing, yeah, I need more minerals, not gas right now. He's actually stopped gas mining at this one base. Gonna resume, I'm sure, shortly. Relatively shortly. I don't know if he actually gets knocked below the 200 max supply, but with the finishing of this command center, we'll get back above there. A little bit of a lull right now. There's a chance that we have to, or that ads run. I have maxed out my snoozes. We're up to 10 minutes away from ads. Just got another one, fortunately, but do be mindful on Twitch. If you want to avoid that, you do have to subscribe. You don't have to, but that is one way. Or Twitch Turbo. Twitch Turbo is great. ShoWTimE is building a bank. Maru has maxed out again and is starting to build a bank himself. ShoWTimE never going up into the air this time. Feel like it's once bitten, twice shy, because those carriers, they did get wrecked pretty hard by the Thors. Maru trying to sneak his way forward here with the siege tanks on this bottom right base, and he will be able to do so. Storms. Oh, High Templar are going to go down, 2 of them. Cyclone's got to be a little bit careful about standing in the storm. Is there still a Marine? How is there a Marine still alive? That has to be from the early game. Yeah, he had 9. How is there 1 Marine that is still alive throughout this entire game? Jonathan H. Rambo. Yeah, I'm just hanging out with the mech unit. What can I say? I'm a car. Vroom, vroom, heal me up. Heal me up, medevac lady. It's me, Jonathan H. Car Rambo. Is that... Wait, that's another Marine. Wait, is he rebuilding Marines? He has 2 Marines alive. Rotation coming in on the left side here. Finally, that fleet beacon coming through, but with the air upgrades as late as they are, I don't know. Maru does still have enough money for the forward transition if he needs it. He's actually adding a Liberator, too. No advanced ballistics for this, though. It's needless to say, unless Maru gets a lot more eco, which he is starting to secure more bases. He's gotten this bottom center, and is now taking the bottom right that ShoWTimE was so eagerly fighting over. Was not able to ultimately hold. Then Maru might be able to afford starports and go into Vikings, but for now it is definitely going to be a commitment to more air. Oh, ShoWTimE. He's got a lot of Immortals on this right side. 15 Immortals here in this army, but the tanks do very well when the Immortals are clumped. Attacking him from one angle. I don't know about this one out of ShoWTimE. Storms coming through. Zealots stuck behind. Immortals will break the front line. Is this enough to keep pushing? It depends how deep the tank line is. And so far, it seems like the answer is not deep enough. ShoWTimE actually will break through. Holy moly. I thought there was more tanks there. There were not. Orbital Command is going to get taken down. That ends up being a great fight for ShoWTimE. There's the rest of the tanks from Maru. They were not where they needed to be. And ShoWTimE gets the decisive fight. He was right. He was right. There was not enough there for Maru to defend. And now Maru's economy is in tatters. His bank is gone. ShoWTimE kind of just needs to kill this one army. Maru going to try again to kill this base. Link forward will find one of these siege tanks that was leading the Vanguard a little bit far away from the others. Maru, oh man, if Maru had like the 8 extra tanks there, I was expecting them just behind the army, but ShoWTimE knew they weren't. He has vision right here.
We
Oh, and now we're going to see Zealots coming in on the left side. ShoWTimE had consolidated all of his army to the right, but now he switches a little bit back to the left to try and counterattack once again, but Maru was ready for it. ShoWTimE's actually got to be a little bit careful. This is still a lot of very important units that are starting to get pinned on the bottom side. Oh, but he may very well be going for a massive flank here. Maru going to try and reconsolidate his army altogether. Another tank sieging up. There's a lot of tanks here. ShoWTimE going to go in with the Zealots on the left side. Storm's landing in. Immortals trying to connect. But the army of Maru is so strong. Storms land at the end. Zealots will warp in directly into the fight. Does Maru have enough to win this fight, though? The answer may be yes, but can he survive the Remax? I think it's going to be a resounding no. However, ShoWTimE's supply just absolutely plummeted. Maru. Oh, man, where are the rest of the tanks? Oh, there's so many observers just right here. Ooh, Probe's trying to pull away the Hellions of Maru in hot pursuit. ShoWTimE really just needs time to spend his massive bank. It's weird because that simultaneously went better and worse for both players than I expected. I thought it was going to be pretty good for ShoWTimE when he came from multiple angles, but then Maru reconsolidated his army really nicely, and then the Zealot warp in turned it into a really good situation for ShoWTimE. There was some good target fire on the tanks from ShoWTimE on the tail end to really whittle that tank count down, and he is transitioning, most importantly, into Tempests. And Maru does not have any viable anti-air right now. And he's got basically no gas income. And by basically, I mean literally no gas income at this point. He could make some, but he is making just Hellbats right now. And the Cyclone count is only 4. There are more Tempests than Cyclones. Maru is making nothing but Hellions and Hellbats right now. He's going to deny this base on the left side. The Tempests, at this point... Oh, lock-ons do come through. He actually kills the Tempest there with the Cyclones. Maru still not taking more gases. Hello? I mean, Cyclones are good, but, like... Hello? He's going to go for it here. Okay, never mind. He's just going to tap out. All right. I mean, ShoWTimE had remaxed again, but... Yeah. All right. Well done. Well done from ShoWTimE. Yeah, that Tempest transition locked the game up. Maru maybe just saying, you know what? Even if I get these gases up, I'm not going to be able to keep up with his economy. Perfect moment from ShoWTimE to go for those Tempests. All right, we do have to run like 3 minutes of ads. Do apologize, but we don't want to get anything during the games. Damn, that was kind of sick. Well done from ShoWTimE. He is one map away from taking first place in this group. Oh. No Game Hard or Observer Plus Plus, unfortunately, for this one. That's okay, though. Not the biggest of deals. This has been a sick series, though. ShoWTimE did make some... really nice moves. Really nice adjustments. By the way, if you're enjoying on Twitch, would very much appreciate a follow. They just had to remake because they didn't make with Observer Plus Plus, so be good. Be good, be good. Actually, I know you're memeing Horlanovich, but you're actually not allowed to switch races in the middle of series in this tournament. That was specified in the rules. And I'm good either way with it, but as long as you make it clear to the players, and they made it clear to the players very early on. They put it in the rules. Yeah, so you're not allowed to switch races between maps, but you can specify at the beginning of a series that you're going to play an off race. No, I like the occasional race swap too. I think it's awesome. Yeah, it's a $20,000 prize pool. But yeah, if you enjoy my casting, would very much appreciate a follow if you're on Twitch. As well as if you've got the means, if you got a free Twitch Prime, send it my way. That'd be very helpful as well. Also, it is September, which means that subscriptions are less expensive. Also, we are just... oh, look at that. A couple of follows coming in. Oh, quite a few. Nice. We are very close to 19,000 followers on Twitch, which would be really cool to get. I do cover a ton of StarCraft 2 on this channel. And I will continue to do so. Spawning down in the bottom right, it is ShoWTimE for the Sentinels. Finds himself up 2-1. And his opponent spawning up in the top left, it is Maru for Vitality. He's sending out a couple of early SCVs. He is still building workers with this. It's not going to be a 14-14, but may very well be a 15-15. My money's on the proxy Marauder. Oh, for a second I thought ShoWTimE was about to check to the left side. I was like, this is very good right now for ShoWTimE if he scouts. Now, we have seen some of the Korean players doing fake proxy Marauders, which is where they build the single gas. So it looks like a proxy Marauder, but it's actually proxy Reaper. They build like 3 Reapers. Beyond's been doing that a little bit. I don't know if Maru is going to give that a try, but we'll see in a moment. Normally, when you scout single gas and no barracks at home, it has to be proxy Marauder. And I think that it will be this time. But we will see. Yeah, there we go. Tech Lab coming down. Normally, I would say 100% by default it is, but yeah, Beyond has kind of thrown a little bit of a wrench into that plan. Now, ShoWTimE is just simply not going to expand. I think that is the simplest, easiest way to deal with this when you scout it like this. He built the second pylon in the main. He's building a quick second gas, built a Zealot. I think this is a very valid way to play. Now, you have a couple options. You can go Stargate, you can go Robo. We're going B. Okay, since he's not building anything at 100 gas, this pretty much has to be Stargate. Right? There it is. I would have massively preferred if it was over here, because you do not want to give Maru free information. He's already building SCVs back at home, as he should be. I do think the shield battery is a good call. Building the pylon on the low ground is a little weird here. ShoWTimE technically didn't know until just now what it was, and in fact, this is kind of funky because it is going to be Marines on the follow-through. Factory will get built at home off of just, once again, just the single gas, and that's because he cut the cut the Marauders. Spent like 50 less gas by this point. Maybe even 75 less gas. Already lifting up the barracks, but I still think this is a better situation for ShoWTimE, and with the Oracle popping out in a moment, he's going to be able to energy recharge it, and yeah, he can just win this fight. Now, best case scenario for Maru is he somehow avoids this Oracle and gets the bio units out of harm's way. Okay, ShoWTimE, go for the fight. Go for the fight. Yeah. This is very good for ShoWTimE. There's still no anti-air. The Cyclone's not out yet. This Oracle, if it goes into the main mineral line, he can snipe down like 4 SCVs. There's still no anti-air. The Cyclone's not out yet. This Oracle, if it goes into the main mineral line, he can snipe down like 4 SCVs.